Hello friends, now I'm going to teach you a new one novelty. It's the email bonds issues. So let me first teach you what is email bonds first of all. When you enter an invalid email, okay, email ID, and let's say the email ID doesn't exist. So the applications may bonds this email, yeah, bonds this email. Obviously, it will be in the bonds cart that these many emails are bonds. Now, it's not only the enter invalid email ID. There are many ways, okay? I'll tell you later on. First, there's a concept called hard bonds and the soft bonds. First, we'll talk about the hard bonds. Hard bonds rate normally defined it's 10%, okay? It's a AWS rule, so 10%, okay? Hard bonds rate is 10%, okay? Now, what is this 10%? A hard bond is an email that couldn't be delivered, okay? Delivered for permanent reason. And reasons may be different, maybe due to maybe the email is incorrect. This could be one reason. Second reason, email ID is not valid. Third reason, maybe email domain are not accepting your email, okay, not accepting your emails, the outgoing emails, etc. You can say, okay. This could be the hard bonds reason. Now that means, let's say you are getting 1,000 emails, okay. From 1,000 of emails, if 100 email of these were mistyped, or you can say bounced, okay, bounced, then AWS SES services will block your service, yes, and then application, so your business reputation will be damaged, yes. You couldn't able to send mail from AWS. So I'll teach you now first of all what it is basically. See, right now AWS have one SES service called simple email services, okay. Now you can also go to the AWS console, search SES, go there, SES simple email service. After that, go to identity management and add domain, okay. So right now I have a domain hackerserver.in. It's verified, okay. You can click on the verify domain. When you click on the verify domain, so basically when you click on you have to add this record, this txt record into the cPanel, okay, and the text value will be this one, okay. Now let's examples. I want to add let's verify a new domain. I want to add, let's say, hackbud.co.in, okay. So I'll click on the verify this domain, and I have to add this DNS into this DNS record type text to the DNS server. The value, what's the base 64 value? You can see it's a base 64. Generally you'll get in base 64, okay. So it's a base 64. If you decode it, what is that? Okay, base 64 decode online, and let me check whether I'm able to decode it or not. So when you decode it, okay, it's nothing, okay, just okay, they are there, okay, not an issue. So we have to add this to the cPanel, okay, like this one. Let me show you. Zone editor, you can go to the zone editor, manage, and txt. There you can add mail.hackerserver.in like this one, SPF, and this one text record like this there, okay. Okay, cool. This is a way to set up Amazon SES services, okay. Now after the verification, for example, let's say hackerserver.in, it's verified, so I can send a test email. Now right now let me check how many emails I have. Okay, email accounts. So there are only one email is there, contact@hackersera.in, and from I'm giving contact. Let me create one more email. Okay, create test@hackersera.in. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. Cool. Okay, now I have to give a strong password. So I'm giving a strong password. Perfect. So I have an email right now, test@hackersera.in, and I'm checking the mail. Okay, now there are no emails apart from the configurations. Okay, now I'm trying to test SES, send test emails from contact to the test@hackersera.in, a valid email ID. Okay, and subject one more time. Okay, let's click on the send. And you can also go to the SES home, and there you'll get a monitor email sendings. Okay, there you'll see the stats. So you get all the deliver. Okay, then you'll get a rejected mails, bounce. That's very important. This is the bounce emails. Okay, now right now one bounce email is there. Okay, the percentage reached 50%. Okay, not an issue. Let me check the mail is coming or not. Okay, so I'll reload this. Where is the options? Reload. Okay, we haven't got an email. Just wait for a few more seconds, and we'll get one more email. Right now there is no email. Okay, cool. Wait. Okay. So let's say any application is using SES services. Assume a, application, let's say any domain are using forward password page through SES. We can attack this. Okay, I'll show you the background configurator. Okay, see this one more time is coming, and it's coming from contact to the test. Okay, perfect. Now let me go to the again domains. It's verified domain is hackersera.in, and send test email. I'll give now contact@hackersera.com to, I'll give the test01. It's not a valid email ID. Yes, so I'm giving a wrong email ID right now. Okay, or let's hackersera.in, blah 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 blah. You can give. Let's send test email. Now obviously you will not get any email over there, but what about the bounce step? So just wait. Let's go to the monitoring. Just wait for a few more seconds, and then you'll get a bounce email. Okay, this is the rate. You can see even numbers. So right now bounce is only 1. Okay, and the email delivers 2. Okay, obviously one I tried earlier, the 2. The bounce is 1. Wait for a few more seconds. The stats will show you the bounce. Okay, rate, number. It's only 2. Just wait for a few more seconds, and you can see that we can, about your sending limits, you can send 200 remaining, 1000 remaining, blah 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 blah. Okay, so basically depend on this, your bounce rate decide. Okay. 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 So for bounce stats, you have to wait for a few more seconds. Okay. So in the meantime, okay, now yes, it's increased, I guess. Yes, number. No, it's wait. You can see delivers 3. Okay, you can see 3 email delivered, but bounce it's still coming. Okay, test01. Let me try now one more time. Okay, domains. From the domains hackersera.in, send test email to contact to, yeah, ABC or Vikas. I'll give Vikas@hackersera.in. Okay, and this is not a valid email ID. Okay, let's click on the send e-test emails. Now they sent one email, but it will jump into the bounce. Yes, let's go to the bounce stats, and it may take time to update the stats. Okay, so wait now. Okay, it's increased number. Okay, number it's not showing, but percentage it's showing something. Yes, it is now. It went to the bond says 30%, yeah. Okay. So you can see the deliveries 4. Obviously, they will return you one error. That's a deliveries, okay? But you can see the bond size rate now 25, went to the 25, yes? The rate number it's not showing, okay? So the bond size percentage is 25%, yes? Now what if I'll send not lots of bonds, okay? Lots of bonds emails. The imagine as SES may block you, yes? Obviously, imagine SES bonds, there will be a rules for bonds mail, yes? That we can only 10 bonds, 20 bonds, yes? So later they will block your services, yes? So let me do this, okay? So I'll show you this one now. So how to find this bug on the real world website? You have to look for, let's say, invite emails, okay? You can try the invite emails. If they are using Amazon SES, then you can try, okay? Amazon SES, or maybe there will be different service. I'll talk about this one later, okay? But first you can talk about this one, Amazon SES services, invite emails. Then you can try on the forward password page. Basically, any applications using AWS, SES, or any other third-party SES services, okay? Any other third-party services and that have email bonds rules, you can try this attack there, okay? Email bonds rules, you can try this attack over there, okay? So if you consume the email bonds resources, then the complete business will be lost, yes? You can say reputation will be damaged, email application won't work now, okay? So this will be the impact. Thank you so much. You can go to the invite emails, forgot password, any application using that have email bonds rules, okay? And yeah, that's it. Hello friends, so now we'll see email bonds live issues, okay? How to disrupt the services. So I have a demonstration now, okay? So this is the Amazon SES metrics, okay? You can see the bonds are 2 now, okay? So now what I will do now, just assume there is one domain. Let's go to domains. So assume they are sending one to SMTP or whatever. Yeah, this is a functionality that sends you one email, okay, from contact. Okay, just assume this is the SMTP functionality sending email from contact to the invalid domain. Okay, for example, so right now so obviously you know the Vikas is not a valid email ID. Okay, Vikas@hackersera.in is not a valid email ID. Okay, and you can check in my email accounts list. I have only 2 accounts, contact and test. Okay, now what I am doing basically, I'll capture this request. Okay, let me capture this request into Bubsuit. It's a send test email request. So yeah, imagine I see the AWS can say this is a send test email. It's from contact to, okay, whatever. Yes, let's repeat this request many times. So I'll send this to, let's say, intruder. Okay, I'll go to the intruder. Then you can go to the positions, and even in the positions, let's go to the payloads. In the payloads, you can select simple list. Instead of simple list, null payloads. Okay, and then you can repeat to, let's say, 100 payloads. Okay, 100 times I'm sending a request. Okay, now let me check the console, management console. What is the status? Okay, okay. If 100 email will be bounced, for example, if 100 email will be bounced, you just assume what could happen. So you can even send this into a request to the repeater and analyze, okay, what's going on. Okay, so I'll send this to repeater. Okay, and repeater, let's click on the go. Okay, message done. Okay, so that means you are trying to send email to the invalid email ID. That means it will bounce. Obviously, it will bounce. When it will bounce, it's sent to Vikas@hackersera. So the bonds stats, the bonds percentage will be increased, and your Amazon SES service will be blocked completely. Yes. So I'm showing you. Let's just wait. 40%. You need to wait for a few more seconds. Okay. First, I want to check whether I'm able to send email to test. Let's say I'm going to the test. Do this instead of Vikas. I'm giving test. Let's go to this. Let's click on the go. Okay, and I will wait. Let's reload this. Okay. Okay. Wait. Okay. I don't know what happened with my internet. Okay, it's connecting. Okay. So, okay. Wait. But it's showing. Oh, I mean, internet is working fine. What happened here? Okay, let me go to hackerserver.in domains and let's click that is home. View sending stats. Okay, the only 4 sent. Okay, the bounces are only 2. Let me reload this. Trying to reload this. What's the stats? Stats is same, 60%. Okay, so it delivers is 75%, and bounces are even increased to 60%. Okay, now 60%. What if you will consume your bonds? Okay, so let me do this one more time. Okay, so intruder payloads. I'll try to increase to the null payloads. Let's say 200 or 300 start time. Okay. Okay. Or let me try to give some timing. Okay. So payload processing null options. I'm giving some time. So start time immediately in 10 minutes. Okay, no, immediately, and then total milliseconds. Variable 0 to does. Let's do this. Okay. 10,000 to 30,000. Okay. Start. Okay. So this may take time according to themselves, but it will be good for us. Okay. Request body content. It's sending to the Vikas and it's invalid one. Okay. Now check. Okay. Check email. Let me do this. It's less than one. Oh, yeah. See this? So the valid email is still coming. Yeah. That means email bonds. Okay. Now what I'll do now? If you check the stats now, it delivers lots of bonds is 100%. Now it's consumed every bonds. Yes. So when the bonds will the bonds the let's say the bounces will be consumed completely, you will be not able to send any emails. Yes. Okay. See, it's working. Yeah, it's working one by one. And let's click on the this one. Okay, 60%. Okay. So the bounces, let's go to the bounce rules. Okay. There will be some more configuration sets. Okay. Dedicated reputation dashboards, healthy, your bounce rate 0.00. So you can see your current bounce rate is 0.0. The measured over the last 0.11 emails you sent. Okay. Spanning over the last 0.8 days, we expect our sender bounce rate to remain below 5%. Okay. And senders with a bounce exceeding 10% are risk. Okay. And then they will pause your services. Yeah. So right now your account status is very healthy. Yeah. Now, right now 0.00. Yes. So just wait. You'll get to know what's your bounce status. Okay. It's still same. Yeah. Bounce status is still same right now. Let's go to the inbox. Okay. I'm just showing you what will be the stats. Okay. Where it's a reputation dashboard. It's healthy now. Okay. Its bounce rate is should remain below. Okay. Let me do one thing. Okay. Now I'll do payloads not only 100. Continue indefinitely. Okay. Let me do this star attack. So they will check according to the. I'm directly trying on the live panel. Okay. So yeah. Okay, stat is still okay. Now you go to the, let's say, monitor emails index. 50% bonds percent 50%. Okay, wait, not an issue. Let me do this something. Okay, let me do one thing. What if I'll give their one payload positions? Okay, after the Vikas, I'm giving a payload positions add. Okay, and let's go to the payloads, and there I'll give a numbers. Okay, it's a number from 1 to 10,000. So every time they will send a one random. Okay, let's start attack. Cool. So now they're sending one response is okay. 212121 blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. What are the stats now? Okay, now stats. What about there? So what's the reputation dashboard now? It's still healthy. Let me do one thing. Okay, I'll not sign out because okay. Okay, now let me try to conduct. Okay, let me do one thing. I don't know okay, maybe the bounce rate is okay. So from contact, I'll do from contact to, let's say, Vikas or something. Let's say not a valid email test@hackersera.com. Bounce is working or not? Okay, let's click on send test emails. Message sending rate. Okay, message sending rate exceeded. Okay, so because of that, that's not working. Yeah, there should be one rate. Let's close every into attack. Let me close this one. Okay, now let's go to the, let's send test email now. Contact to test@hackersera.in. Okay, let me do this send test emails. Okay, so sending is now. Let's check email is coming over there or not. Okay, so right now there is no email here. It just came 12:32. Okay, it's earlier email. Okay, let me do one more time. Send test email from contact to, let's say, test and application. If email service is stopped, then there is a vulnerability. Okay, so you can try this. Okay, test@. Send test. Okay, two email came right now. Okay, so the email service is still working. Yeah, you can see that means you are not able to increase the bonds percentage. Yes, it is still healthy. Yes, anyway, if anyway you will be able to, yeah, for example, I guess I not decided. Okay, bounce rate is still 0.00%. Okay, let's capture this request positions. Okay, now let me, instead of this, let me capture one more time. Okay, proxy. Okay, domains. So hackersera.in, send test emails. It is on now. Contact at the rate. Okay, I'll give test@hackersera.in blah 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 blah. Check. Okay, check this time. So I'm just capturing this request. I just capture this request. I'll add click send this to repeater for backup purpose, and then you can see this test@hackersera.in. Now what if I'll give over there, let's say, gmail.com, and any Gmail email, let's say, not allowed. So if I'm giving, let's say, there, okay, Shahrukh Khan 3213 blah 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 blah. Okay, and non-existing characters if I'm giving over there, ex2, there is one maximum quota exists. Okay, so basically obviously you have a limit of AWS email sending. Okay, and that exceeded. Okay, so when it's exceeded, it won't work. Okay, you send 358, remaining is 0. Okay, but bond says, so this way you can also increase your bonds. Okay, reputations, it's healthy. Okay, bonds rate is 0.00%. Now okay, I should have tried Gmail. Okay, then because hackerserver.in is a verified domain. That's why it was not in okay working. Okay, you can see this domain was verified. Okay, that's why it's not working. Okay, now so this is a way you can try. Okay, so you just have to capture it. You just to increase the bonds. Okay, reputation bonds. Obviously, if you're you're doing a black box testing, you will not get an idea that how whether it's working on the AWS SES or not. So in the next video I'll show you okay how to identify. Hello friends. So now I'm going to talk about email bonds exploit impact. Okay, so let me tell you. So basically, let me read this impact. And so before sending emails, domain names should be validated using any available services. Okay, and user email ID belongs to that particular domain or not. If not, then email will get bonds. If invite is sending to any non-existing Gmail ID and some process is kept as loop, the Gmail will block that company from sending emails. If using AWS email service, then AWS will block that particular ID from sending emails as the bounce rate increase more than 5%. Now, there are for different companies have different policies of email bonds. Like Campaign Monitor have only 2% of bounce rate. Okay, if you will exist 2%, then Campaign Monitor will block the services. Okay, and then you will not be able to use your email services. Similarly, AWS have a 5%. Okay, it's supposed to not increase more than 5%. The bounce rate should not increase more than 5%. Cool. Now, how to identify first of all whether application, whether an application is using AWS or not. So the one thing will be this one. You can identify from SPF TXT record. Okay, you'll get an idea whether the application is using Amazon AWS services for emailing or not. Now, one more thing. The big question is, let's say they are not using company policy, company senior directors emails for this AWS, but they are using functions. Let's say contact us functions, reply back functions, contact us reply back functions as a autoresponder as a AWS service. In that case, you have to test manually. Okay, how to test I'll show you. But first, you'll also get an idea through SPF TXT record. For example, maxtoolbox.in. Let's go to the maxtoolbox.in. Okay, I don't know what happened with Chrome, so I'll use a Firefox. Okay, let me go to the MX Toolbox. Okay. Now, you can simply search a domain name, let's say hackersera.in. Okay. First, you also get information about MX Exchange, mail server exchanges. When you'll get an idea. The hackersera.in is a 456410 for blah blah. Okay, MX. Okay. Now, and there's a DNS record published and that you got. Okay, but what about the SPF? Look for the SPF. Okay, one SPF. Okay, it's not. Okay, we are not getting anything. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, you can check about the mail dot. Okay, for sometimes you have to look for the mail dot hackers.in and then you'll get an okay Amazon SES services sometimes. Okay, that means they're using SES services. You can also try like this one. Just wait. Let's say DNS lookup. DNS no. You can look for the MX. Where is MX? MX lookup. Okay. So you will also get something like this one. Okay. Feedback SMTP blah blah. Okay. Like so AWS it's or either you will get an IP address associated with that domain. That means they are using a Imagine ACS services. And yeah, this will be the one way to identify whether applications are using Imagine SES or not, or any other third-party services. Second, you have to test manually. Okay, how to test manually? Manual testing for this, let's say any functionalities, any contact us functionality, sending email back. Okay, let's say any application is taking input, let's say email ID, okay, input email ID, and application is sending you one email, okay. For example, third, application is sending you one email. Third, so what you do, first capture request, capture request. After that, give basically capture request, and in the email field give any non-existing email, okay, non-existing email. You can create your own domain email ID, okay, non-existing email, like let's say abc@hackers.com or some blah blah. Obviously this is a non-existing email ID, so you can use this one. Fifth, maybe there will be, maybe we have to keep in mind, maybe there is a chance, okay, so maybe there will be a email bonds situation, okay. So situation, so what you do basically is repeat this request, okay, repeat this request 10,000 times, okay, or blah blah, okay, more than, okay. Now seventh, after the completion of this 10,000 times, give a valid email ID, okay, valid email ID, and check whether you are able to receive email or not, okay. If you are getting email, that means it's secure, okay, it's secure. Cool. So this is all about the email bonds issue. Hello friends, so now I'm going to talk about IVR call request crash vulnerability. Obviously you will get many options like verify uh, your cell phone, or when you order something you can verify your mobile numbers, authentications. So there's options to verify using call, okay, then you can try this attack. Now what's the verification procedure? Verification procedure must accept or supposed to have rules to validate users input like mobile number, okay. Now characters, so obviously there should be numbers, okay. Now what if I'll capture the request, okay, and what if I'll feed a characters or a special character symbols, let's say alphabetic characters, okay, alphabetic characters or a special character symbols that may lead to behave part of application unresponsive, part of application, okay, not the whole applications. The IVR call request behave unresponsive, yeah. Now how to test this kind of vulnerability? First, you go to that sections, the part of applications, capture IVR verification request or call request or anything. It's up to you. You can say IVR call request, not verification, call request, okay. Then in mobile number, try to use illegal characters like alphabetic characters or a special character symbol. After such attempt, you just try normal way to verify giving real mobile number, and if application is working fine, then there is no vulnerability. And if not, then the application is behaving unresponsive and you can report that vulnerability, okay. Thank you. Hello friends, so now I'm just going to show you the live hunting of IVR call crash, okay. So it's all about the business logic vulnerability, okay. So this is the application, Zomato applications. When you order something, okay, there's options, okay, to change your phone number, okay. So let's click on the change. Now it is on, continue. Obviously you will get a request to update your phone number, okay. And when you use the default phone number, it won't work, but let's try to do something. What I will do, I'll use a new phone number, okay. Use new phone number 9021430360. Let me check. Recording is going on. Now let's capture this request, okay. So when you capture the request, obviously there's a verification type SMS by default, okay, not an issue. Let's very forward now. But there is also options to verify using a call me, that is calling request, IVR call request, okay. Now what if I'll capture this request and I will try to use something like this, okay. Try to use, instead of numbers, I will use special characters or a message or a normal alphabetic characters. Yes, let's wait. Make sure you give a 10 character, because normally developers validate 10 characters, yes, 10 digit input, yes, but they forgot to validate a special characters input, yes, etc., etc. So let's capture this request. Call me. So this is the verification type call. Send this to repeater, and let's click on the go. And response status success, message verification, and okay, wait, okay. Let me use characters now. Okay, let's say 10 digit characters. So let me use the 10 digit characters. A 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, 10 digit. Instead of numbers, I'm using A for 10 times, and what I got, response status failed message, there was an error, please check. Okay, so they're validating the character. That means it's a secure one. Okay, let me try special character symbols. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, it's status failed. Let's me something use a mixed characters. Okay, okay, I don't know, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, now 8 9 10. Okay, like this one. Let me use this now. Okay, status failed. So we tried everything and status failed. That means the application is secure. Now let's try the real phone number. Okay, and if you will get a call, that means the application is secure. If not, then there is a vulnerability. So the response, yeah, I got a call, you can see. Okay, you cannot see, but you can listen. I got a call from Zomato. Now it's that means the application is working fine. Zomato is secure from this vulnerability. But what about SMS? Let's give special characters. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, when I'm using this one, response is status success. Okay, and let me use character 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Let's click on the go. This vulnerability is for a call, but I'm just showing you on the SMS also. Okay, not an issue. Okay, now if I'm using a real phone number, now I'm getting SMS, so the application is secure perfectly. Okay, this is a way to test this kind of vulnerability. Okay, thank you so much. Hello friends, so now I'm going to talk about obscure email vulnerability. So this vulnerability is a result of an interaction between two different ways of handling email addresses. Yeah. So now let me first tell Gmail ignores dot in addresses. That means if my email ID is this one, v130295@gmail.com, it's same this one, v.v130295@gmail.com, and it's even same v.v.1.3.025@gmail.com, because Gmail ignores dot in addresses. But what about other applications, other web applications, other mobile applications? Maybe other mobile applications won't ignore, won't ignore this. This means those applications will take this email address, as unique email address. Yes, basically this means those applications will think that all these email addresses are unique email ID. Yes, now that's the problem. Now, what's the problem? Let's talk about the one situation. The situation is Let's say victim email ID is this one, double V130295 at the rate gmail.com, and account is on any application, let's say app.com. Okay. Now, let's say app.com is a postpaid connections or whatever. Let's say postpaid, or you can say, okay, postpaid billing. Okay, whatever, postpaid billing, and the charge from credit card. Okay, I'm just mapping the situations. Okay, so obviously every month of this email ID, it will be charged from the credit card. Okay, the usual, let's say SIM card, postpaid SIM. Okay, postpaid SIM websites, and obviously credit card payment is gonna done by credit card. Now I may create a unique application. So let's say unique ID like this .v.v dot one dot 13 or maybe 1.3025 at the rate gmail.com from this account. Yes. Now just assume app.com, same. I have also account on postpaid SIM, and these applications accept as different unique ID. Yes, unique email ID. This is a very unique ID. Now what I will do, I'll try to make payment. Let's say make payment through any fake CC. Obviously it may failed. It may failed, and the mail will be delivered for repayment. Okay, mail will be delivered for repayment to where v.v.1.3025 at the rate gmail.com for repayment. Yes, and obviously it will be same. Yeah, this email ID is same as obviously say for example app.com will deliver mail to this one where v.v130, but it's and that is nothing but it's the same as vv130295 at the rate gmail.com. So the actual owner will receive an email to make payment. Yes, email to retry failed payment, and he may make payment. Yes, he can make payment. That's a different thing. Okay, he may or not, but this is a vulnerability. Yes, make failed payment. Okay, so this is nothing but obscure email vulnerability. Thank you so much. Hello friends, so now I'm going to show you the live hunting of obscure email vulnerability. So let me first show you the Gmail concept now. This is my email ID double v130295 at gmail.com. Let me log into the another email ID, and the email ID is offensivehunter at gmail.com. Let me compose the email ID. If I'm writing a mail to v.v.1.3025 at gmail.com, check check whether Gmail ignore dots or not. Yes, cool. Let's do this. Send. Let's go there. Okay. View message. See, it's delivered to the v.v.1.3025. What about there? Mail. Okay. Wait for a few more seconds. Maybe you will get. Cool. Okay. Earlier, I sent an email. You can check earlier now. I sent an email to v.v130295. Okay. And I received that email there from. Sorry. Yeah. I received that email to my inbox v.v13, but my email ID is double v. Okay. Wait for some time. The mail will come. Email will come. Okay. So. Okay. So basically, Gmail ignores dot in addresses. Okay. Now, yeah. You can see dot v, single dot is taking, okay, it's not an issue, okay, we can use that one, okay. Now let's go to the amazon.com, okay, for example amazon.com, and I have an account on amazon.com. Assume that from, okay, add account from v.v, okay. Now I'm using v.v 130295 @gmail.com. Okay, let's do this. Sign up, okay, create account. You see, they took as a unique ID. Now I had account, okay. Now I'll use Vikas Chaudhary, my name, as a victim, okay. v.v 130295 @gmail.com. Okay. Now password 123456789 123456789. Cool, done. So I'm creating one account. Okay, v.v. It sent, see this v.v. This is for testing. We are testing this, so obviously we have to register. Okay, now differentiate two things. Let's assume there is no verifications. Earlier Amazon.com don't had verification. Okay, that time there will be a vulnerability. Assume there is no verification of OTP kind of thing. Okay, you can sign up and it will be logged in. Then it will work. Right now the situation is, just assume there is no OTP thing. Okay, now let's proceed. Now obviously if you order something, let's say I'm going to order, okay, so I'm going to order from amazon.com, let's say this one, blah blah thing, and you can see if I'm taking my addresses, this is a unique, yeah, your account, where is the address thing? Okay, okay, your orders, buy again, see there is no order. That means they take v.v as a unique email, unique account. Yes, now let me order something. So if I'm order something, let's say, okay, there is no address. Yes, so let me add an address, a US address for temporary. Okay, so I'll go to the via box.com. Okay, for temporary, I'll add the user address. Okay, because I'm going to test amazon.com, because I know there is a one novelty. Okay, that's why. Okay, let me use a Firefox. I don't know what happened with my Chrome via box.com. Okay, let me remove the proxy. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, I'll use a random address. Okay, for test. Okay, let's use any random address. Full name Vikas Chaudhary. Okay, STENSE 1465 K. State Oregon 97220. Let me add this one. Okay, for demonstration purpose, I'm just adding this. ST will be 97220. Zip code is the thing, but okay, Portland. Let me use Portland. Okay, then verify address. Okay, okay. So then we may get an address. Okay, so that's why it's very easy to get an address like this one. Okay. For rent. Okay, cool. Okay, house for rent. Let me use this one. Okay, it's very costly, but you can use. Okay, so the address. Okay, address. Okay, it's a 2929 and look in okay city. Okay, let's do this. 97229. Okay, so it's a 97229. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Add address. Succeeded. Yes. Now, let's say I want to buy something. Okay, and then I'll use a template. Let's say I want to buy uh, a OnePlus. Okay, OnePlus, and I'll use let's say this one 648 for example, or just assume I got to know that my friend is buying OnePlus. Okay, I'll do same thing. Okay, let's add to cart. Just assume. Okay, because obviously we cannot. Okay, let's do this cart, and I'll proceed to checkout, and I'll use a temporary any random name generator. Okay, generator. Let's do this. Okay. Why random? Because random name generator. Okay, let's do this. Any. Okay, let's do fake CC generator. I hate this one. What happened? Okay. Generate any credit card. So I got some. Okay. Obviously it's obviously let's say anything Visa. Okay, let's select generate. Okay. Obviously it's the wrong one. Okay. We know. Let's do this. But still I'm trying the same thing. Okay. Preparing. Continue. And name of card blah. Okay. Name of card as a victim. So victim account is Vikas. So we'll use Vikas. This one and then anything. Let's say two. Okay. Not correct. Okay. Let's say. Okay. It's working. My card is in different country. Let's say US dollar. Cool. Let's continue. Use this address. No thanks. I don't want free. Okay. Place orders. Obviously the payment will be failed and then they will ask you for free trial. Okay. So let's go to the your orders. Okay. And when you will go to the your orders, after some time, you will get one email, and you will get one email to retry your payment. Yes. Just wait. Track packages. Right now there is nothing. So there is obviously it's payment. There's just nothing. Okay. So after some time, they will ask you for the repayment. Yes. So it's normal. Okay. Normal. Okay. Wait for 5 minutes, and you will get another mail. Okay. For the repayment. Now, what if the user, actual owner, will make a repayment? Then there is a big vulnerability. Yes. There's it's not a big one. Okay. But the application should handle dot or email address very carefully nowadays. That you can suggest one. Okay. And if there is situation like this one, that then you can. There's no authentications, verifications. Then you can try. Okay. Otherwise, secure. Both are their account. Okay. You cannot do anything on it. But if application process as an individual address, then there may be problem. Okay. Like this one. This is the scenario. Okay. Let's do this. There's no retry payment. Okay. Wait for some time. They will confirm it, and then obviously there will be repayment options. Yes. Yeah. So this case be one situation. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello friends, welcome back. So I am going to talk about background concept, the AWS pen testing, just overview in this video. So let me check whether recording is going or not. It's going on. So pen testing on the AWS cloud is unique, bringing its own set of security factors. While some vulnerabilities are mitigated through emergent security measures, the complexity of these services leaves many companies exposed. Traditional security infrastructures and AWS clouds differ in various ways, from setup and configuration to identity and user permissions. The technology stacks could not be more distinct. The most noticeable difference is the ownership of the systems, meaning Amazon requires formal permissions for pen testing, carried out on approval dates, The purpose of this policy is since the testing is affecting Amazon owned infrastructure. The attack of ethical hacking would violate acceptable use policy. By making this test windows clear, we ensure both a through and safe security assessment. Now, let's talk about AWS shared responsibility. So, AWS responsibility, security of the cloud. AWS is responsible for protecting the infrastructure that runs all of the services offered in the AWS cloud. This infrastructure is composed of the hardware, software, networking, and facilities that run AWS cloud services. And the customer responsibility, security in the cloud. Customer responsibility will be determined by the AWS cloud services that a customer selects. This determines the amount of configuration work the customer. For example, you can observe this one. Customer responsibility, customer data, platform applications, identity and access management, operating system, network and firewall configurations, client-side data like encryption and data integrity authentication, server-side encryption like file system and or data, networking, traffic protection, encryption, integrity, identity. Now, security of the cloud, that is AWS, compute, storage, database, networking, regions, availability zone, edge allocations. That will be completely depend on AWS responsibility. Let's talk about the AWS assessment technique. So we'll talk about the AWS assessment technique. AWS assessment technique. This may be one. I'm giving this just scenario. Okay. So probe IAM permissions for exploitable misconfigurations. Enumerate EC2 that we all see in the next video. Okay. EC2 user data or metadata, instance metadata, user data for credentials. We have also seen this in some videos. Okay. Below videos. Okay. Credentials. So you watch very carefully and practice. Escalate AWS. This we have seen lots. Escalate AWS privilege through IAM misconfigurations. Backdoor Lambda function for environment persistence. For environment persistence. Evade cloud trail or guard duty through various technique. So this is all about the background concept. In the next video, we'll see something else. Thank you. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about AWS attack vector. Let me check whether recording is going or not. It's going on. Okay. So AWS attack vector. I'll list you one by one. AWS root account and identity and access management IAM users. This could be the first attack vectors. Yes, users. Second, API access keys. Yes. Third, managed services. Network instances Instances may either virtual machines, EC2, snapshot, virtual machine, or EC2 you can say. Custom application and third party software. Custom applications and third party software. Leaked credentials. Leaked credentials. Access control misconfigurations. Access control misconfiguration. Managed service misconfiguration. Managed service misconfiguration. Network security misconfigurations. Instance misconfigurations. Software security holes. Software security holes. Insecure custom applications. Secure custom applications. I have covered all these attack vectors. Okay. So, but let me just list out how you should proceed. Let's say you got IM, common services. IM is very common service. IM. I'm trying, let's say IM. Okay. So what you should do on the IM? First, analyze permission for privilege escalation path through services like Lambda. So you can talk about analyze permissions for privilege escalation. Checking for misconfigured roles, attempting to access them. Okay. Checking for misconfigured roles. This you can do using enumerate-im.py that we'll see. Okay. Establish persistence through backdoor user roles. This could be on IM. This could be your attack vector. Let's say instances we have talked about EC2 and VPC we have seen, okay, in the previous video. Sorry, in the next video we have seen. So you can proceed with the enumerating instances. I'm just saying instances, security groups, AMI to stage EC2 attack. Abuse simple system manager for remote access to instance. Okay, so abuse, we have seen this one. Okay, abuse SSM. Okay, analyze EC2 user data. Okay, EC2 user data for secret system credentials. Okay, by using EC2 instance metadata. Now identify routes between VPC for lateral movement and escalation. Okay, this could be on EC2. What about S3? S3 is very popular one. What about S3? If you look at closely, S3 is a bucket. So you can check for the misconfigured bucket. That could be first bug. You can see unauthorized will be that very good one. Yes. Or you can check authentications. Check S3 buckets for sensitive files and data. Leverage existing S3 buckets to exfil data or stage further attacks. So this could be your possible attacks on S3. Similar way, Lambda, RDS, CloudTrail you can try. Okay, all these I tried to show you in the previous video. So your will be Lambda, then RDS, relational database. I just also shown you in the next video, and then CloudTrail or guard security. Okay, guard duty that we have seen. So this is all about AWS attack surface. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about attacker motivations. I'm just giving the few examples, okay? So how an attacker can discover this AWS vulnerability in bug bounty hunting, okay? In black box testing. Let's say bug bounty hunting, not black box testing, okay? So you can look for its API. You can look for API, access keys in CI or CD systems, GitHub, etc. This could be your first mode. Yes. Now, if you talk about the resources, why? So, why doing this one? Resources. Resources will be you can unlimited capacity. This is the attacker motivation. Unlimited capacity and computing power. Botnet. You can place your botnet. Cryptocurrency. Mining. Crypto is you can do mining, etc. Now, if you look, let's say access to sensitive data. So this will be access to sensitive data. This is the main motivations. Sensitive data. Your goal should be this one. What you will look? You look for identity theft, credit card, medical record, etc., etc. Now, you can also try for extortions. Extortions. It's a demise of services. Okay. Demise of services. You can terminate if you will able to terminate any of the snapshot, any of the VM by using any root console, etc. So these are the motivations. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about bucket listing access permission set to everyone. Okay, so our target will be this one, flowers.cloud. Okay, for this one, this is our target. Now, obviously, what this access permission to set to everyone means? It means the bucket is set to everyone. That means everyone means anyone on the internet can access the bucket. So let's do some recon to get more information about the bucket. Okay, so my target is this one. This is a lab. Okay, so you should also try on this one. Okay, first. So obviously I want to do recon, so I want to check whether it's hosted on AWS platform or not. So first command will be host space flowers.cloud. You can do. Okay, now you can see you got some IP address, but again it's not. So I didn't got any more information whether it's a host. This IP address is a AWS Amazon IP address or not. So I will do copy. I'll again do host space the IP address. Now you may get more information about where this is located. So it's hosted on S3, Amazon S3. Now it's the IP address is pointing to the S3 website US. And what is this format first of all? So this format is the hosting. So AWS hosting. Let's talk about the format. Okay, hosting. So okay, get some document. Okay, how it's okay. So and there is a board platform support, flexible. Okay, there is a single page web hosting. Imagine S3 for free. So I just want information. Okay, so any documentation? Let's talk about the documentations about. Okay, Amazon AWS S3 hosting, because yeah. Okay, so there is one documentation from AWS. Now let's talk about the website endpoints. And what I got, this is depending on your region, your Amazon S3 website endpoints follows one of these two formats. The first will be bucket dash name. So okay, we haven't got any bucket name till now. Okay, now after .s3 dash website dash region. So the region, we got region. The region is US dash west 2. So you can note it down. Okay, so the region, we have got region. Always remember the region to access. Okay, so the region we got is US dash west dash 2. Okay, and it's hosted on AWS, not an issue. Now, and sometimes you may also get something like this bucket dash name dot s3 dash website dot region. Okay, and then amazonaws.com. So we got to know, we got some information about the region. Perfect. What's the region? US-West-2. Now let's try to access some bucket configurations. Okay, so obviously this is a S3 bucket, so I want some bucket informations. Okay, so or you can directly list out the contents host. If it's access to everyone, then let's try to access the bucket content. For that, you can use AWS command line interface, AWS CLI, AWS space. For this installation, you can use pip3 space install space AWS. Okay, to install, not an issue. Now AWS space S3 hyphen region space US-West-2. Okay, after that you give the commands, what command you want to run over there. So I want to run ls space flaws.cloud. So we are doing a black box. So if access will be everyone, we'll get a list of content, but there's unable to locate credentials. You can configure credentials by running AWS configure. That we'll see later, but now what is this one? So whenever AWS command fire, it send a request to AWS. This tool automatically signs the request for you with the security credential you specify when you configure the tools. But I don't want to configure. I just want to access directly without my account, without AWS account. So for that, if access will be everyone, so you can just use hyphen no sign request. Okay, so you are not sending any signing request, okay, to the AWS, and then you will get a list of content. Just wait, it may take some time. Okay. So just wait. We can't do anything. We just have to wait for a few minutes, and then you will get a list of content residing on the bucket, S3 bucket. The first vulnerability bucket listing access permissions to set to everyone. Let's check some HackerOne report if they have something like this one. Okay, so bucket listing HackerOne.com. Just trying to get some reports who got bounty. See, the bucket is accessible and it's reported to Twitter, and the bounty got is 140. So I'm just, yeah, if you got AWS S3, you can see there's also reports. Okay. Now so report is this one, metrics.pscb. It's a Twitter one. It's a Twitter subdomain. Okay, it's a Twitter acquisitions, and this is a subdomain of Twitter. Okay, now yeah, any AWS, that means it's accessible with everyone. Okay, so see, this one you can do. See, we got files now. Now you can simply report this one, but instead of this one, you can also try to privilege escalate to get some sensitive files. So let's get some interesting file. As this is a lab, so no worry. Okay, you try to get some interesting file from this lab. So I can see there is one secret-dd, this one. Okay, let's try to get this file. So I'll try to download this file in my own terminal. So AWS S3 space cp space. I just want to copy from S3 bucket. So S3:// flaws.cloud cloud, okay, dash, and this file. Cool. Now I don't want to sign a request, so I'll just use hyphen no dash sign dash request, and okay, I have to also assign the region hyphen region space US-West-2 space, and you can download this file. Just give any file name, let's say abc.html. It will save into abc.html. Now wait for some time. It will copy file from the S3 buckets and it will save in your local terminal. So this is the bucket listing access permission set to everyone, one novelty. Okay, just wait for a few minutes again, because you are sending request to AWS, and that will depend on your internet and everything. I hope its recording is going on, otherwise I have to do more work. Okay, its recording is going on perfectly. All right, now wait for a few minutes, and then we'll get list. Sorry, we'll copy the file. I hope you are safe and you are doing hunting. Okay. Okay, sending request. So the vulnerability name is bucket listing access permission set to everyone. Okay, fine. Wait for a few more minutes, and we may get sensitive information. So it's not only everyone. Okay, people also set access permission to this one. Okay, people also set access permission to any authenticated AWS user. Now that we'll see in next video how to penetrate this one. But any authenticated AWS user means anyone that uses AWS, not just users in your account. Okay, so any authenticated AWS user means anyone that uses AWS. Okay, that means if I'm using AWS, I have an AWS account, I can access your content. Now you can see it's copied to the abc.html. Now let's do cat space abc.html, and we got one. Congratulations, you found the secret file. Label 2 is at this bucket. So let's just copy this complete URL and try to access this in a browser. See what's there. Okay, and I can see you successfully got this label too. In next video we'll see something else. Thank you so much. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about bucket listing access permission set to any authenticated AWS user. So what does that mean? First of all, similar to opening permission to everyone, people accidentally open permissions to any authenticated AWS user. They might mistakenly think this will only be users of their account, when in fact it means anyone that has an AWS account. Okay, so it will be like this one, not like this one. So when you are trying to set the permissions, don't try to just set any authenticated AWS user. Means anyone that uses AWS, not just users in your account, can access your bucket. Okay, so let's try this now. So we got a target from the first label. This is our target now. Okay, now again, if this is a new target, I have to first check whether it's hosted on AWS or not. So just ignore the target name. Okay, I'm trying to this host space this one. Okay, now I got an IP address. Now I'll copy this one, and then I'll do host space this one. Okay, now you can see it's hosted on the S3 website, that's US-West 2. So we got a region, it's the US-West 2. Okay, now I'll try to list the files. Okay, so the file listing command, AWS S3 colon double slash, sorry, AWS S3 space hyphen region space US-West 2 space what? ls space s3 colon double slash and the, not this one, uh the target, the bucket. Okay, sorry, I just made some mistake, I guess. So has, okay, so this one, if you're trying to do this now, see what's happening. You can configure currency by running AWS configure, but again, I will just try first no sign request, and just wait, get some output, and you'll get to know. Okay, if you'll get a list of content, that means the bucket is accessible, but a bucket permission set to everyone. Okay, if you'll get something else output, that means bucket permission is different than everyone. So I'm waiting. Okay, okay, so you can see you got an error access denied when calling the list objects v2. That means the permission set is different. Okay, not everyone. So now I'll try to configure my account. Okay, so AWS configure space hyphen profile. Let's try to create one profile. Don't just configure AWS default profile. Okay, so let's give the profile name. I'm giving xyz07. Okay, this is my profile name, and that you have to give access key ID. So access key ID you will get from your AWS account, my security credentials. Wait. Okay, and you'll get access key ID and secret access key. So I don't know the passwords. What I will do, I'll delete this one. Okay, access key ID, and then I'll try to create new access key. Just show access key. So I got access key. Let's download key. Maybe I'll need this. Okay, later. Okay, perfectly. So access key given. Secret access key. Just give this one. Now default region. So I'll try to give US-West-2 output. Doesn't matter. So I just configure my profile. Now this is a signing profile. Okay, so now whenever I will send a request, I'll try to use this profile to send signing request to the AWS. Okay, so now I'll try to list the file. Okay, this one, but instead of no signing request, I'll try to use hyphen profile. Okay, profile equal to, you can give xyz07. Okay, enter. Okay, just wait for a few minutes. It may list out all the objects, all the objects on S3. Okay, just wait. Taking time, but we have to wait. We don't have. Okay, so we got one file. Now I have to download this file. So you know the similar things. You know what you have to use. You have to use a cp command. Okay, instead of this ls, let's just use a cp command. Okay. So I'll try to copy this cp s3 and then plus.cloud slash file name. Okay, so file name and then hyphen profile. You give the profile a space. You want to copy into this file. Okay, let's enter. So I'm trying to send a signing request for copy file from a bucket to the local terminal. Okay, just wait for a few more minutes. So you can see we have successfully found a vulnerability, bucket listings access permission set to any authenticated AWS user. So this we are doing a black box testing. Okay, we don't know. Okay, but I'm showing you as a demonstration. You should thanks to flaws.cloud first of all. Okay, for making this lab. Now, just wait. Obviously, we are sending signing request, so we have to wait for a few more minutes. Okay. Okay. We can't do anything. We just have to wait. And the OBS Studio, I guess, have pause button, but I'm doing a live. Okay, so you have to bear with me. Okay. I don't edit my videos, so everything I do live, blah blah blah. Just wait. Okay, so we copied the file. Let's do cat space the file name, and we got a label 3. You found the secret file. Let's guess this label. Okay, so okay, I just copied, and that will be our new target. Okay, in the next video, and you can see, yeah. So there's one link, there's one hacker, one report, open permission for authenticated AWS user on Shopify that was set and that were accepted as a $1,000 bounty. Okay, so S3 buckets open to the world thanks to authenticated AWS authenticated user ACL. Okay, so you just have to find this vulnerability and like this one, get some sensitive file and report it. Okay, thank you so much. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about leaking AWS keys. It will be again depend on the bucket listing access to everyone or any authenticated AWS user. That's the choice. Okay, so we will try to get some interesting files from the buckets. Okay, let's try this one. So I have a target now from the previous level, so level 3 now. Okay, so again I will try to list out all the files or try to recon the hosted region. Okay, so let's try to get some hosted region information. Now we got some IP address. Hello, I will again do host space this one, and we got the hosted region. So we us-website west-2. Okay, now we'll try to list out the files. Okay, so I'll try AWS S3 space hyphen region space us-west-2 space ls space s3 colon double slash, and we have our target. Okay, so our target is this one. Perfectly all right. Let's do this. If the permission set to everyone, you will get a list of files, but you can, so let's try to no sign request. Okay, let's try to use no sign request. You have just learned this one in previous videos. Okay. Okay, it may take time because you are sending a request without signing. I hope recording is going on. Let me check. Yeah, it's going on. Okay, and we have to wait. So, in the meantime, let's talk about the why AWS keys. Why we are looking for the AWS keys. What will be the mistakes of a hosting website? So people often leak AWS keys and then try to cover up their mistakes without revoking the keys. So people should always revoke any AWS keys that could have been leaked or were misplaced. Like I'm recording this video, I just shown you my keys, okay? And if I not revoke that key, you will try to access my AWS bucket, okay? So in a no such bucket when calling the list objects, okay? So let's try to send let's try to send authenticated AWS request. So hyphen profile equal to xyz07. Let's try this one, okay? I just use AWS S3 hyphen region US dash west dash 2 and then ls and S3 colon double slash. Okay, perfectly all right. And the label 3. Yes, that's perfectly all right. There's no mistakes. I'm just trying to list everything. Okay, there is no such bucket. What's the error? Let me check again. Uh, yes, we have got this one. Let's copy this first of all. Okay, label 3. It's a really perfect or not? Okay. Okay, there's a site can't be reached. That's why I'm not getting. Okay. Hmm. Let me try to check my internet first of all. Okay, whether it's working. Okay, it's working. So this is not what something is deleted over there. But let me try to check with http colon double slash. Okay, it's not working. So there is some error. What about this one? Flash dot cloud. It's working. Okay, so okay, there's nothing error, but label 3 have some error. So what's the error? Let me check again. This cat file. Okay, and let me copy it again. Okay, let me try to just copy and let's just okay. It's working. So there's some error was there. Okay, not an issue. Okay, okay, let's just delete this one. You can use this one. Okay, okay, so the new target. Okay, sorry, our target, maybe some spelling mistake will be over there. So target is this one. Okay, now let's just wait. USS West 2, perfectly all that. Let me check whether it's working, still working or not. After firing my command, it's working. So yeah, okay. Wait, 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 wait. I just have to get some list of contents first of all. Then I'll try to download the content of bucket. Okay. So wait. Okay, it's failed. Invalid bucket name. Hmm. What's the error? Okay. AWS S3 region US West. Okay, let me just do this. label it's perfect one. So S3 colon double slash. Okay, perfectly all right. And instead of this profile, let me just remove this one and I'll use no dash sign dash request. Okay. Yes, have some patience. That's a very important one. Okay. Okay. Yes. Now it's worked. Okay. Now you can see there is one directory .git, and you know how it's important. I hope you have watched source code control system, how it's important .git directory. Okay. So, we have to download this list of contents. Yes. So there is a .git git directory, git repo. So maybe there is no, there is nothing important files over there, but maybe we'll get some sensitive files by, maybe some sensitive files will be in this git repo. Okay, so let's just try to download the content first of all. Okay, so I'll use simply a command. Instead of ls, I'll use a sync command. Okay, sync. Okay, so let's just use sync sync. Okay, it will download the content of the bucket. Okay, okay, so I have to give the path also. Sync we have given slash, and then after the no sign request, just give dot, or maybe you can give their dot there also. Okay, not an issue. So space dot space. Okay, so it will download in the same present directory. Okay, the content of the bucket. Now just wait. Okay, it's sending some request to the server. Now wait. Okay, I'm waiting. So okay, terminal would like to access your okay, okay, what's happening? It's syncing some file over there and skipping files is not readable, not readable. I don't know what's happening. 29 files are there. Okay, okay. Okay, file does not exist. I guess hmm, okay. So you can see there's a dot Git, okay, and that have many file, okay, and that you're downloading, okay. So wait, okay. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Let me just, instead of this dot, okay, I'll remove the dot there, and then after this one I'll give a directory, let's say xyz directory, okay. So I'm getting a directory directly over there, so just wait. Yes, yeah, you have to be very patient. I don't know, in previous video it was how many MB, let me check. Get info, it was 28 MB, okay, perfectly. But this video will be long. Yes, I have to make in two part, I guess. Wait. Hmm. Now it's working. It's saving into everything in the XYZ directory. Okay, just wait now. Yes. So let's go to the XYZ, and we can see there are hell lots of file, as well as there was a dot git. Okay, so if git was syncing, maybe it will be in some, maybe git is committing. Okay, so when, so let's try to just do git space log. Okay, so I can see git committed two things. First they committed this one, and second they committed this one. Now its commitment is saved. Okay, save something while syncing. Now let's just fire this git space stash command. Okay, so I'm trying to download, retrieve from the git history, okay, while rolling out. So git space stash, and you can see no local changes to save. Okay, now I'll try to do this one, checkout, git space checkout space this one, and I can see you are in detached head state. You can look around, make experiment, changing, committing them, blah blah blah. Okay, and there you can see head is now at F5 to, yeah, something is there. Yes, let's do ls, and you can see you got one file, access key.txt. Yes, earlier it was not. Okay, if you look it properly, there was no access. So when I done git space checkout, it's maybe in that git file there was access keys underscore txt. Let's just do it cat space this one, and we got access key and the secret access key. So I'll try to create a profile now. We got access. Yes, now. So this is a big vulnerability. We can configure our own profile. AWS configure space uh, hyphen profile equal to xyz 08. 08 is new. Remember, 08 is new. Okay. So access key ID. Let's just copy access key. Done. Secret access key. Yes, I have secret access key. Done. Default region. You can give US-West-2. Enter. Done. Now we configured our profile. Okay. Yes. Now if you want to, let's say, list about, okay, let's get so we configured our profile. Now let's try to get more information about this profile first of all, or you just try to list all the files in this access. Okay, so AWS keys. So AWS hyphen profile equal to xyz 08 space s3 space ls. Just wait. So I'm trying to send a request with a new profile. I got the keys from the git repo. Okay, that I'm trying to, yes, access the account. So I'm trying to get all the available buckets for this account. Just wait. It may take time. Just wait. Have some patience. Yeah, that's necessary. So you got all the files over there. There's a config bucket. There's a new cloud. Okay, application. There's a level 3, level 14, blah blah blah. Okay, not an issue. Now, if you want more information about this profile, the identity of the profile, so you can use a command called this one, AWS space hyphen profile space profile name. That is profile name xyz 08 space IAM. You're calling the IAM function get dash user information. So just wait now. So when calling the get user operations, you got a user backup is not authorized to. Okay, so you got a user backup. Now you can also see, this is not a single way to get user information. Okay, so you can get information like also AWS space hyphen profile space xyz 08 space sts space get dash caller dash identity. You want information about identity, just fire this one. See, you got user ID, account ID, and the IAM ARN informations. Perfect. This is all about getting the keys and having access. So if bucket is publicly accessible, you may get some access key, AWS keys, if it's leaking. Thank you. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about EC2 snapshot accessible to all AWS users. So that's again a big vulnerability. Yes, if you will get this one, yeah. So just wait. First, from the level 3, we have got another profile information, and from that we have got level 4 cloud information. Let's just copy this and open this. So when I open this, I got a level 4. For the next level, you need to get access to the web page running on an EC2 at this one. So this is our target now. Okay, now copy link. So we got our next target, this one. Now first obviously we have to do some recon to check whether it's hosted on S3 or EC2. So let's just give host space this one. So if I'm doing this one, just wait. Obviously you know the recon point, okay? So I can see it's hosted on the EC2. So we just identify the DNS name of EC2. Yeah, this one. Right. Region is this one. Okay. Now let's get caller identity first. Okay. So we have got a caller identity. You know how to get space. AWS space hyphen profile, and we have created a profile xyz08 space sts dash sts space get dash caller dash identity. Okay. Now we got a user ID, an account, and ARN. Okay, now get all snapshot of this owner ID or this user ID, all snapshot. Okay, if they all snapshot present over there, so we are doing black box testing. Okay, so let's request by another user. Okay, or you can request by same user, not an issue. Okay, so or you can request by another user, let's see xyz07. Okay, let's try this one. So AWS space hyphen profile, I'll try with my older xyz07 space. So I don't have access. I'm trying to access the user ID information from my own account. Okay, copy this one xyz user. Okay, now EC2 describe dash snapshots space hyphen owner dash ID space the owner ID that you know this one, and then this is not the owner ID. The owner ID is account one. Okay, so this is the owner ID. Okay, owner ID space hyphen region space US dash west dash 2. Let's try to it. Yeah. So I'm trying to get access this account all snapshots from my own account, from my own AWS account. Okay, so we got a snapshot in this descriptions. The owner ID, this progress is 100%. This one. Okay, now we have to copy the snapshot. Okay, so let's copy snapshot to my profile. Okay, so what we'll do now, we'll try to copy the profile, the snapshots to my account. Okay, so I'll use AWS space hyphen profile space my profile is xyz07 space EC2 space copy dash snapshot space hyphen source region is US dash west dash 2 space hyphen source snapshot is source snapshot ID. Okay, and let me check the source snapshot ID. Source snapshot ID is this one. So let's just copy this one and just enter. That's it. Let's enter. So we're trying to copy this owner snapshot to my account, and it's copied. Now let's try to access our AWS. So okay, AWS account, my AWS account. Now sign into my console. Okay, I'll change this region first of all. Okay, so the region instead of Mumbai, US West 2. Yeah. Okay, have some patience. Now I'll go to the EC2 services. Oh, EC2. Let's go to the EC2. Okay, so if you talk about the snapshot, let's go to the snapshot. So you can see snapshot is present over there. We just copied. Okay, so completed. Well, okay, today date, everything is there. 100% everything is there. Now we have to create a EC2 volume of this. Okay, so action, there's a create volume of snap. Okay, so create volume, general purpose, blah blah blah, not an issue. US West 2, perfectly all right. Let's just create volume. So we have created a volume for this snap. Now we have to create EC2 instances with this volume. Okay, so let's go to the okay, we cannot create, yes. So there's a volume is there. Now we can go to create instances, is not there. Okay, so first we'll create a one instance. Okay, so let's just create one instance first of all. Okay, so we'll try to create a instance. Where is the instance? Okay, there's instance. Let's just try to create one instance first of all, then we'll try to attach the second volume over there. Okay, so there's a, you don't have any launch instance. Let's just try to first launch any instance. Instance is nothing but a machine, and the volume you created is nothing but a hard disk. Okay, so we'll try to, let's say, Ubuntu one, any Ubuntu. Okay, perfectly. Let's just create this one 16, not an issue. General purpose. Okay, review and launch, not an issue. Launch. Okay. Okay, so there's a choose an existing key pair. Okay, so create a new key pair, and I'll try, let's say, XYZ08. Okay, download key pair. This is a PEM file that we will use to connect SSS to this machine, to this instance. Okay, let's just launch instance. Now, okay, so we'll go to the now running instances, view instances. The instance ID you will get is this one, 05. Okay, not an issue. They go to the volume now. Okay, so we have a two volume now, and our snap was what? Okay, just wait. Okay, so our snap was what? Let me just check. The snap was F1. Okay, and the volume. Okay, let me go to the snapshot first of all. Okay, so there's only one. So our snapshot was, the ID was this one, F1. Okay, so let me go to the volume now. Okay, we have to attach this F1 to the instance. Okay, so let's select F1, action, attach volume. Attach to what? The instance ID, this ID, that is running ID. Okay, let's just attach. Perfectly all right. So you just attach this hard disk to the running machine. That's it. Now, let's go to the instance now. We have to connect this instance by using SSH. So there is a connect options, and there is SSH space hyphen n and this one. So let me just show in Finder. Let me check where it is. It is in downloads. Perfectly all right. Now I just have to use this one, SSH Ubuntu, this one. So, but let me go this. So okay, I'll use CD. downloads perfectly. Let me use this command. Yes, I want to connect. Yes. Warning, unprotected private key file, bad permissions. Okay. So let me just give sudo space -s 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay. Now let's try to connect. Okay. I have root permission now. Yes, I want to connect. Yes. So I successfully connected to the machines, the instances. Now the volume, there will be many volume. Yes. So So you just connected now. If you want a list of the volume, you can use f disk. So obviously you just make sudo space -s. Okay, make yourself root. Okay. So now f disk space -l, and you can see there are, yeah, but there is one more file that you have attached. Okay, that is this one, xvdf1. Sorry, yeah, xvdf1 that you have attached. Now just simply mount this one to into your mount directory. Okay, so what I will do, simply use a mount command, mount space slash dev slash xvdf1 slash mnt. So I'm mounting this 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 volume to my local drive. Okay, let's just mount it. Okay, mounted. Now if you want to list where it's mounted or not, so you can see diff command will give you the, see, udev is mounted to dev. Okay, now but this one is mounted on mnt and it's 22% used. Now let's go to that directory. So you can go to the cd slash mnt space ls and you'll get a list of files over there. And there is a Ubuntu. Okay, there is a home directory. So let's go to the cd home ls, and there you will find Ubuntu, cd space Ubuntu ls, and you can see there's a metadata and setup nginx.sh, the two files you got. Now let's just do cat space what's written in this setup nginx.sh. You can see there is a username and the password, the key. Okay, so when you got this level 4, this one you got one EC2 instances, the targets. Okay, I already have written. Okay, so this one is your target. Okay, so let's just copy this one and try to open this target. So when I tried to access this, there was one authorization required, and I don't have password. Okay, and that required a username and the password. So username I got a username is the plus. Okay, now password is this one. Let's copy, enter. So yeah, we have successfully logged in. So what we have done, so AWS allows you to make snapshot of EC2. So some people do snapshot of their EC2 instances and databases, RDS. The main purpose of this is to make backups, but people sometimes use snapshots to get access back to their own EC2 when they forgot the password. This also allows attacker to get access to the things. Snapshots are normally restricted to use your own account. So a possible attack would be an attacker getting access to an AWS key that allows them to start, stop, and do other things with EC2, and then uses that to snapshot an EC2 and spin up an EC2 with that volume in your environment to get access to it. Like all backups, you need to be cautious about protecting the items. So this is all about snapshot vulnerability, EC2 snapshots backup. Okay, so snapshots of EC2 instances made accessible to all AWS user. That's the vulnerability. Thanks. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about exposed proxy, which doesn't restrict access to instance metadata, server, and private IP range. So we'll try to attempt to access metadata via proxy. So from the previous lessons we have got, the EC2 has a simple HTTP only proxy on it. Here are some examples. Okay, so let's try to use this link. Okay, Now, so instead of this flaws.cloud, let's try to use a hackersera.com. Okay. So that means there is a proxy configuration is there. Okay. Now, if you remove this one, let's just remove this one. Okay. You got level 5. Okay. Still on level 5. Now, no worry. So proxy hackersera.com. Now, what's the big goal now? Okay. What you can do. So first you can try to get a host. Okay. So let's just exit from this instances. Or let's create. Okay. So I'll try to first host space this one. Okay. Whether it's hosted on cloud or not. That's the first check whether it's hosted on AWS or not. Okay. That's your first goal. Always your first goal. It's a EC2 instances. Now you know that there is a one IP address 169.254.169.254. It's a magic IP in the cloud world. AWS, Azure, Google, DigitalOcean, and others use this to allow cloud resource to find out metadata about themselves. Okay. So what if I'll try to access this IP address? You can see there's a 1 point. This is the metadata. Okay. Now there is one. These are the directory. You can see there's one latest directory. So what if I'll try to get latest? Okay, latest having dynamic metadata and the user data. So what you want? I want metadata information. So I'll give meta tag data. Okay, let's enter. You can see there's the AMI ID, AMI launchbox index. So what's important over the IM is also there. So let's just try to get access. IM enter. There's info and there's security credentials. So both are important. So let's try to get info first. Okay. So after IM, I'll give info, and info we got code success, last updated, instance profile ARN, instance profile ID. Okay. Now if I'll talk about the security credential, okay, this is a directory. So let's just try to access this one and enter. There's a one flaws. Okay. Let's just try to access this flaws, and we got code success, last update this one. So we have got access key ID, secret key, and the token, and the expiration date. Perfect. Now, so these are nothing but environment variables. Let's talk about what is AWS environment variables. So AWS environment variables. If you talk about this one, if you want to configure this environment variables, you can see there are a few things. AWS access key ID, AWS CA bundle, config file, session token, secret access key. So you can use export command to use, or I'll construct a command directly like this one. Let me just show you what is my typora. Okay, so let me just show you how we'll try to fire the command. Okay, just wait. I will not export this because I have my own profile configured over there. So what I will use, I will directly use this one, like this one, command like this one. So first I'll use AWS access key. So AWS underscore. If you look at the environment variables, what's that? Okay, so environment variable. So if you look access key ID, so or there is access. So first I'll try to AWS access key ID. I'll copy this one. Let me just, so AWS access key ID. Okay, there's some error. Why? I guess let me use terminal. Access key ID equal to, in single quote, I'll give the ID. So ID from this one. Okay, where is the ID? This one is the access key ID. Perfect. Done. Now I'll use space, or you can space, yeah, just give a space. Second environment variable is AWS secret access key. So let's just use this one, equal to single quote I have to give. So this time secret access key is this one. Let me just use this one. Perfect. After this, I'll use a session token. So session token parameter is variable is what? AWS access key default region is this. Okay. Mm, secret token. Okay, so there's AWS session token. Let's just use this one. AWS session token equal to single quote. In the session token, I'll use this one. Perfect. So everything is set. Now after this, I'll use my command. Command is AWS S3 space ls space. I'll use a hyphen recursive space S3 colon double slash, and see, if you talk about the label 5, there is a label 6 also. Okay, so if you try to access label 6, you will be not able to access denied, but they just try to access from that. Okay, that token. Okay, so obviously I have to remove this http. Okay, label 6. So I'm trying to list the files. Okay, just wait. So we have exploited exposed proxy of EC2 instances to get its metadata, then get credentials. Just wait, we have to wait because it's a signing request consisting AWS key, token, and secret key. I hope internet is working. Yes, and the recording is going on. Let me check. Yes, its recording is going on. Perfect. Hmm. Wait. We have to wait. Okay, so we got few directory. There's one important directory, ddcc78ff. Now what is this? Let's try to access directly from there. If yes, so this one is access denied, but one directory is, but to figure out that directory you need to play level 5 properly. Okay, so there's one directory that you to play. So let's just keep this one, enter. Yes, so we have got level 6. Now in the level 6, at the last, sorry, the final challenge, you are getting a user access key that has the security audit policy attached to it. See what else it can do and what else you might find in this AWS account. This is a new AWS account, okay? That we'll see in next video. Thank you so much. This is how you should exploit. So it's nothing but, it's a similar problem to getting access to the IAM profile. Access keys is access to the EC2 user data, which people sometimes use to pass secret to the EC2 such as API keys or credentials. Okay, so if you look at the HackerOne report, IAM profile. Okay, and let me just check hackerone.com. So you can see there is one SSRF in webhooks instances. Okay, AWS private key disclosures. It's the same thing. Okay, you can use this one, time security credentials, and yeah. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about excessive permissions are given. Do not give any excessive permissions to any of the instances. Okay, EC2 instances. So or IAM permissions. Okay, security audit policy permissions. So first we have got one level 6. This is the level 6 access key ID. Let's just assume we have got this one. Okay, the access key and secret ID key. So what we can do from there? Okay, we have to try to escalate the things. Okay, so it is common to give people and entities read-only permissions. This is the security audit policy. The ability to read your own and others' IAM policies can really help an attacker figure out what exists in your environment and look for weakness and mistakes. So let's just create one profile. So I'll use AWS configure space hyphen profile equal to XYZ09. So access key ID I have, and then I have a key also. So let's just secret key. Let me just copy the secret key perfectly. Oops. Done. Default region US-West-2. Done. Enter. So we have created one profile. Now let us get identity. First get caller identity of this profile. So you can use a command. Previously we have seen this AWS hyphen profile. You want to more information, so profile space XYZ09 space IAM space get dash user. This is the first command, or there is also another command to get identity. Okay, so that we'll see also, not an issue. Okay, just wait. Okay, so we have got the user information, username, user ID, ARN. Yeah, and if you get another command, let's say you can fire also another command. It's a STS space get dash. It's a little longer. Get space caller space identity. Okay, you can also fire this command and you will get user ID, account, ARN. It's the same thing. Okay, not an issue. Now you can also use an automation tool called Scott2. Okay, for to run on this profile to get more information about the policies. Okay, and the vulnerability and weakness into this. So let's first start Scott2 space github.com. Okay, security auditing tool for AWS. It's automation tools. We can also use this one. Okay, perfect. So you can also use direct automation tool, or you can use a git space. Okay, so let me try this one first of all. If I'm running this one, what's the problem? Okay. Okay. Let me just try this one, git clone, and this one. Okay, so I'll use a command simply git space clone space this one. I'll make myself root sudo space -s 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then cd scott cd scott2 enter ls, and there is a one requirement. First I will install that requirement. So it's a pip space install, nothing, pip space install space hyphen r requirement of txt. So boto 3. Sweet. So I'm doing automation right now. Okay, security auditing policy with Scott 2. Just wait. Okay. What if I'll directly try to, let's say, Python space setup to space install. If I'm doing this one, okay, it's install, I guess. Let me just try to use this one. Scott 2 space. There is a hyphen profile, and you have to give the profile hyphen profile. Profile is AWS profile, yes. So hyphen profile space profile name XYZ09 that I'm auditing. Okay. The problem is not is required. It was not found and is required by AWS Scott. Okay. So there is some error in this one. What if I use directly Python space code.py space hyphen profile space XYZ09. There is error, not an issue. I'll try to exit this. Okay, let it. I'll try to do manually. Okay, so you can try Scott 2. This very nice one. Okay, so I'll try now. What? Identify policies attached to this. Okay, this label 6 user. So for that I'll use AWS hyphen profile. I created XYZ09 space IAM space list attached dash user dash policies policies space hyphen user dash name equal to username. Did I got any username previously? Yes. So username was this level 6. Okay, perfect. Enter. So we have got the two-part policy. One is list API gateways and other one my security audit. Okay, that's two policies you have got. Now let's get in more information about this list API gateway. So for that you can use a command. Similarly, AWS hyphen profile name, then IAM, and then after IAM use get policy hyphen policy dash ARN space in double quote you have to give the policy ARN details. So this is the ARN. If you copy, no, so I have to copy there. This is the ARN. Okay, let's just give this one. Okay, perfect. Enter. So we have got the policy information. It's a list policy ID. Okay, there is a version 4. Default version ID is 4. Now let's get more information by executing a version. Okay, version policy and get policy version. Okay, so for that you can use a command, simply this one, profile, then I'm get policy version. Okay, so there you have to give version and policy ARN is already there, and just add one more thing, version ID. So it will be like this one, hyphen version dash ID equal to v4. Okay, that's it, because the version for v4. Okay, just enter. Okay, so you got more information about this version policy version. Okay, API gateway get effect allow resource you have got, it's ARN AWS API gateway US based REST API. So it's using a REST API that we have got, resources we have got. Now, if you talk about this one, AWS API Gateway, AWS API Gateway. So let's talk about the AWS API Gateway. So you can search on Google AWS API Gateway. So you'll get more information about this one. Okay. From the AWS document. Okay, so let me just use right click, open link in new tab, and then this one. It's okay. REST API. So I'll try to, okay, there's a REST API. Okay. So mostly REST API use AWS Lambda function, okay? API in, imagine, API gateway. Okay, let's try to search this one. So there is REST API. If you check what the REST API is using a Lambda function. That's, remember this one, that's it, okay? So let's get Lambda list of functions that's used by REST API. So what you have to fire a command. You have to fire a command AWS space hyphen hyphen region. So region, you know, it's a US dash west, okay? So US dash west dash 2, okay? After this, hyphen hyphen profile, and profile, you know, XYZ09 is a new profile, and then lambda space list space dash function, okay? So let's try to get list of function used by lambda, okay? List function, okay? List function, just get it. Now, used by, so you have got the list of functions, okay? So functions level 6, okay? US West function level 6, Python 2.7, role service role level 6, okay? And there's a code, pass through, division ID, everything we've got, okay? Now, so we have got this one. List of functions. Let's try to list all the function name. The next step will be, so here you, most important, what you got a role. Role is this one, role service role level 6. So you've got role information about the list functions, okay? Now let's try to list this policy get policy information. So for that, just do this one, AWS space hyphen hyphen region. Its command is same. Let's just run this command. Region US dash west dash 2. After that, profile, and then lambda. Instead of this list function, use get policy. Let's say get dash policy space hyphen hyphen function, and the function is level 6. So why I'm telling you this level 6 is a function. So if you talk about the list, this one, just wait. calling, how to call a API. So that I want to talk about this one, calling API in AWS. Mm, Making API request. Okay, not REST. Okay, so just call a request API. Okay. Query request. Okay. Okay. To know more about this one, how query, how they construct the query, making API request. Okay, availability for. Okay. Calling an API in Amazon API gateway. So we have got now. So base URL for REST API is something like this. So REST API ID, execute dash API, and then region, and then Amazon it, and then a stage name. So where the REST API ID is the API identifier, region is the region, and stage name is the stage name of the API development. Okay. So we have got, see, if you look at this one, the URL. If you look at correctly, this URL label 6 is a function name. So let's try to get more information about this function label 6. Okay, first of all, okay. So let's try to get more information label 6, and you get more in policy, versions, default, statement, SID, effect, principal, service, API gateway.amazon AWS, creation, lambda, invoke function, resource, and okay. Now what's important over there? You got one interesting thing: execute dash API, US West, and then S3PPY. That you got important thing. So what you got now? You got stage. This is a stage. Okay. So sorry, you got a punch of policy information. Okay. So this is the policy. Okay. If you look at the execute APS, this is Amazon region, Amazon AWS slash stage name. Your ultimate goal is to find a stage name. So here what you got a REST API ID. So this is the ID you have got. See, execute API dot region dot Amazon. So this is the REST API ID. So you got a REST API ID, and that this is the REST API ID 75. Now you to find stages. Okay, so remember this is you have got REST API ID. Now you have to find stages. So let's try to run this command. So AWS space hyphen profile space profile, XYZ09 space hyphen region. It's a US West 2 space API gateway. So you're calling API gateway space get stages. Now I'm trying to get stages dash hyphen REST dash API dash ID, and that we have got REST API ID. Let's just enter this one. Now you've got a stage name. Stage name is productions. Okay, so you got a stage name. Look at this invoking function now. The base URL for REST API in the following format. So this will be the following format. So let's just copy this following format and then Sublime. So I want to construct. Okay, so okay. Oops. Let's just use this. So we to construct this URL. Okay, now. So we have got the REST API ID. What's the REST API ID? if you look at this is the REST API ID. Okay, perfectly. We copied the REST API ID. So execute dot dash API dot region we have it's a US dash west dash 2, and then imagine a stage name we have got is prod. So we've constructed, okay, perfectly. So we have finally constructed a lambda function URL. Okay, so we have constructed lambda function URL. Now let's just visit this URL. So this prod, okay, okay. So just use this one URL. If I'm using this one, what I got? Missing authentication token. Okay, so after product, I guess I have a function name. Label 6 is the function. Okay, so let's just try to directly visit the. This is the lambda. Okay, so label 6. Yes. So we have got label 6. So basically, after a stage name, you have to give the function name. Okay, so remember this one. This is the complete constructions. Okay, so stage name, and then to give functions and then name. So you know the function name. Now you have got the last URL. Just open this one. While opening this, you can see there is a no such bucket. Okay, maybe let's move this one. Yes, we have got. Now what we have learned, it is commonly to give people entities read-only permissions such as the security audit policy. If you're giving security audit policies, this may be the cause. This will be the final impact. Yeah. So I hope it's clear to you. Thank you so much. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about IAM privilege escalation by rollback. For this, I need a lab. So there is a very good lab. Okay, so you have to install this cloud code. You can use a Docker to set up this lab. So how I install this? First, you download this cloud code. You can use git clone. After that, install all the requirements. Then you can directly use this command: docker run -it -v, and then AWS credentials to the AWS, and then you can use this one. So when you will fire this command, you will get one output, something like this one. See, I just fired this one. Wait. Okay. So you can see I just fire this one. After that, I have to create a lab. There are various situations. So I'll create IAM privsec by rollback, just firing a command /cloudgo.py space create space IAM privsec by rollback. Okay. Before that, you need to configure your profile, AWS profile, and that you have to enter over there. Okay. Like I have entered this one. Now, then you will get the CloudGoat credentials. The CloudGoat credentials will be like this one: CloudGoat output AWS account ID, output policy ARN, output Rainer access key ID, and secret key. So let's just copy this one. Okay. Okay. So now we have this information. Now we have to test whether the privilege escalation is possible by rollback, IAM rollback, or not. So for that, you have to create a profile first of all. You have to configure your profile. So let's just configure a profile. So I have my Ubuntu. I'll cd. Now I'll configure a profile AWS. So you know the command, yes. AWS configure -f profile. Okay, I'll give the profile name priv lab. Okay, just give this priv lab. Okay. Now obviously they need access key ID. So we have access key ID. This is access key ID. Let's just copy this one. Oops. Yes, done. Okay, enter. Now okay, we have to give secret key that we already have. Let's enter secret key. Perfect. And you can see default region, just enter for output format. Okay, so we have configured privilege. PrivLab as a profile. Now, the first things we have to do is enumerate our identity. Okay, so let's just fire AWS STS space get dash color dash identity. Okay, enumerate your own identity first of all of this profile. Hyphen profile space, the profile is PrivLab. Okay, just enter. Okay, so the user ID is this one, account is this one, ARN is this one. So we have got, so what, let's talk about the ARN structure now. Okay, so I have one document file from AWS. So ARN structure having this one, partition, service, region, account, and the resource. Account is the AWS account ID with no hyphen. For example, this one. Okay, resource is the portion that identify the specific resource by name. Okay, so the resources may be something like this one: root, user, group, role, and then after that user you'll get a username. So you can see what you have got output. You got output. This is the user and the username is this one. So you have got a username. Okay, so we have got a username. Let's just copy the user. Okay, you already have the output username, but still we have enumerated. Okay, and it's matching with this one perfectly. Now let's just enumerate policies and permissions of a user. Okay, yes. So for this user, I have to enumerate all the policies of or permissions of a user. Okay, and permissions of a user. So for that, I'll fire a command AWS space IM space list attached user policy. I think spelling is correct. POLIC policy space hyphen user dash name, and we have the username. You see the username. Let's just copy the username. Then hyphen profile signing request that you have to give, and the profile we created is PrivLab. Okay, just enter this one perfectly. We have got attached policies. So the policies, if you check here, the policies name is this one, CG policy. So let's just copy the policy name. That's very important. So we have copied the policy name. Now we have got the policy, this one. Now sorry, just keep colon there. Okay, so we have got the policy perfectly. All right, policy ARN as well as we have got. Now you can also fire another command AWS space IM space list dash policies space hyphen only attached space hyphen profile space priv lab. Okay, just enter this one. So you can see we have got all the attached policy information now. Okay, so this is policy name, this one, policy ID is this one, and a very important default version ID. The version ID is v1 that we have wanted. Okay, so we have got the version ID, it's v1. Now basically IM stores up to 5 versions of customer managed policy, 5 versions. So it's a default version is version 1. Okay, remember that this one. Now if you talk about the policies, so the example you will find over there, all the policies and permissions. Okay, the policies are, these are the types: identity based, resource based, permission boundaries, and organization access control session policies. Manage policy inline that you can also try to manage. Okay, so you get more information about this one from the AWS itself. Okay, and these are the IAM identifier. Okay, now okay, what we have got the version is v1. Okay, so policy documents shows that an IAM identity with the policy is allowed to perform any IAM. So we've got the version one first of all. Then we'll talk about this one, this sentence, whatever I'm talking was talking about. Okay. So first, let's talk about the permissions granted to the policy. Okay, what are the permissions granted to this policy? Okay. So for that, remember this ARN. Okay. So the ARN. Okay. So the ARN is this one. Okay. Yes. Let's just copy this ARN. Perfectly all right. Now, so I'll use AWS space IAM space get dash policy dash version space hyphen policy that's ARN, and then in double quote you give the ARN. Perfectly all right. After that, you give hyphen version, and then that's ID, and you got the version ID already from this previous command. Okay, v1. After that, hyphen profile space priv lab. Okay, just enter. So you have got this complete information about this policy version, and what you have got over the action. IAM get star IAM list star IAM set default policy version, and the effect is allow resource. What do you mean by effect first of all? So let's talk about the effect. There you will find effect. Okay, not there. So the effect use allow or deny only to indicate whether the policy allows or denies access. Now in our terms we want allow. Why we want allow? So effectively, if effect will be allowed, makes the user an administrative level. That's why we want. Okay, now what you have got from this command, tell me. So we have got the policy document shows that an IAM identity with the policy is allowed to perform any IAM get or list operation against any resources. Star means any resource. Okay. And one more thing we have got is IAM set default policy version is allowed against any resource. This set of permission looks normal and might not be flagged by many security scanners. Like we'll see the scanners. Okay. But the fact is, IAM set default version is allowed can lead to serious security issues. Why I'm telling you this? Because IAM set default policy version permission may be able to escalate privilege through existing policy versions that are not currently in use. If a policy that they have access to has version and that are not default, they would be able to change the default version to any other existing version. And I have already told you the IAM stores up to 5 versions, so there may be 5 versions or maybe 1 or 2. What? Let's just get list of policy versions. Okay, so for that I'll use AWS IAM space list dash policy dash versions space hyphen policy dash ARN policy ARN in double quotes. Let's keep this one ARN hyphen profile space priv lab. Just enter. So we have got there are 5 versions of this ARN, this policy. Now we don't know what policy have what actions, what resource allocated, what permission set. Okay, so now we have to enumerate each policy version and check if we got any additional permissions. Check whether any additional permission is given to any version. So the default version is v1. It's granted right now, and we can overlap any policy version. So for that, let's just check one by one. AWS IAM space get dash policy dash version space hyphen policy dash ARN in double quote. Keep the policy ARN. Then hyphen version dash ID, and then in you can mention, let's say v 2 because V1 we already know, V2, and then hyphen profile space privlab. Okay, just do this. So what we have got now? So this V2 versions allowed only list bucket, get objects, list all my buckets, all resources. Effect is allowed, not an issue, but you have very less action permissions. Now V3, let's enumerate version 3. Now version 3 have action star effect allow resource star. Version 3 of the policy introduces severe vulnerability. The permission of version 3 effectively grants the user administrative access to the AWS account. Now let's make this version 3 the default version, which means from restricted IAM user, we are escalating to become a user with administration access. So how to make a default? It's the command will be AWS space IAM space set default, spelling is correct, default policy version hyphen policy dash ARN, and in double quote, let's keep this one, then hyphen version dash ID is V3, and then hyphen profile is privlab. Okay, just enter this one. Okay, I'm waiting for the output. Okay, now, okay, I want to check whether the policy, what is the policy version right now. Okay, so for that I'll use AWS IAM space list dash policies hyphen only attached hyphen profile privlab. Okay, just check. So the where okay, this one, the policy name, this one. Now the default version is version 3, and you have access to any resources, okay, and you can perform any actions over there. So this is a manual escalating, rollback escalating. Okay, now we can also use automation tools. Yes, we can use. So the automation tools for this one, you can first use, you can use AWS, sorry, this one, you can use enumerate IAM. Okay, so why enumerate IAM? You can use enumerate IAM GitHub. Okay, okay, this one. So you can use enumerate IAM. Quickly verify the additional permissions. This will quickly verify all the additional permissions. Okay, so for that, let's just go to the enumerate. Okay, and I already set up. So I'll use /enumerate .im.py space, and then syntax is this one. I have to give the access key. So the access key, I already have access key. So the access key is this one. Space. Then I need a secret key. Secret key is this one, and then secret key. Okay, just copy secret key perfectly. Let us enter. So it will start all the permissions enumerations for this account. Okay, just wait. Give some time. Okay, now we have got, you got all the results. Okay, so let me just show you only the parts what I want to show you. You can see this is all the information, all the policy they have used. Okay, so you've got, okay, Okay, let's just go on top. Okay, so you can see there is a IAM value key scenario, blah blah blah, not an issue. Okay, so the attached managed policy is this one, and the ARN is this one. Okay, or instead of this looking in the result, you can directly look the result over there. Okay, just wait. Yes, you can see the user, these have one attached policy, and this policy. Okay, this policy, this policy having issues, the permission issues. That's it showing you. Okay, the enumerating everything. Okay, so you've got one attached policy. Okay, now you can directly try automation tools, AWS escalate to do automations. Okay, so let's just use AWS, sorry, escalate.py. Okay, so just to raw. Okay, let me simply wget space this one. Okay, so I have a Python space AWS escalate.py. Okay, and that need access key ID, and that we already have access key ID. So the access key ID is this one. So let's just copy this one and enter. Now, okay, it's not defined. There is some issue. Maybe a space issue or something. Okay, so let's just enter this one and then copy, then enter. Okay, so define there is some issue with this file. Okay, so it will be Python 3 first of all. Okay, so remember it's a Python 3 space AWS escalate.py. Okay, no module name boto 3, so you install this one, pip3 space install space boto 3. Okay. Okay, so we need to install this one first of all. Okay, so let's install this one. Yes. Okay, maybe this video will be so long, so I guess I have to show you automations in next video. That will be good, I guess. Yes. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about automation. We have seen the manual method of doing IAM privilege escalation by rollback. Now we'll see automation. So in the last video it was too long, so I just cut off. I'll start from there. I have one file. It's enumerate IAM directory. Let's just go to enumerate IAM to enumerate all the policies permissions. / enumerate, that's IAM .py space hyphen hyphen. We have to give, if you enter this, let's say health. Okay, so we have to give access key and the secret key, as well as if you have session token, you can also give that one. Okay, not an issue. So what we have access key. It's a signing request, so let's just enter access key. Perfect. So access key we have is this one. This is the access key. Okay. Now after access key we have to give secret key. Okay, let us give secret key. Perfect. Enter. Okay, there is oh yes, access key spelling is wrong. Sorry, we have to give one more hyphen there. Perfect. Let's enter this one. So they will enumerate everything, every policies permission. Just wait for it, give some time. Okay, now, yeah, wait. Okay, so you have got. Now let me just find the policy that we have done already manually. Okay, the IAM policies that I'm looking for is, okay, let's just scroll from the beginning. Okay, now Cloud Bridge S3. Okay, Cloud good, not an issue. hmm Policies. Okay, role name. Okay, policy name is this one. Is EC2 policy that we'll see in the next video. How to do it, play with EC2 policies. Okay, now I'm looking for the attached policy now. Attached managed policy is this one. Okay, so the attached managed policy is this one, and the ARN is this one. Now, if you look at this policy, okay. So you got ARN, okay? So not an issue, okay? Let's just copy the ARN, okay? Just Control Z, okay? And as well as you will get output also there, the attached policy informations, and then you can play with the, okay? Just wait. There on the top, there. You can see. So I wanted ARN, so that's why I scrolled up, okay? Now we got ARN. ARN, sorry, ARN will be boom like this one, okay? Okay, now we have ARN. Now I'll directly try AWS Escalate tool, okay? So I have this file AWS Escalate.py. Let's do Python 3 space AWS Escalate.py and just enter. Obviously, they need a signing request to access key ID you already have. Just give this access key ID. Okay. Now the problem is if you'll copy paste from the typo, there will be issue. Okay, so just copy from there. Okay, perfectly. Enter. Now you need a secret key. So I guess I have this one. Enter. Session token I don't have any, so I'll just enter. Now collecting policies for one user. Okay, you can see user is already in admin that we have already done in manual method. Yes. Now what I will do, I will just change. I'll just change my default version that we have changed in previous video. So AWS IAM, and then we'll try this attack. Okay, AWS IAM space set default dash policy dash version space hyphen upon policy dash ARN. In double quote I have to give ARN. Sorry. Oh, okay. I made one copy, so not an issue. ARN. After that ARN, let's just give version hyphen upon version dash ID is, let's say, V1. V1 was default. Yes, and then hyphen upon profile. So my profile was what? Priv lab. Yes, Priv lab. Okay, let's enter this one. Okay, now I'll try this tool, Python AWS Escalate.py, and I need access key ID. We already have access key ID. Enter, and then secret access key. Let's enter this one. No, wait. It will enumerate all the policies of an IAM identity for permission that can potentially lead to privilege escalations. Now you can see User confirmed, set existing default policy version, was the vulnerability, relation check completed, result stored to the, you can see result stored there. Now if you run again, you'll get to know it's done. So let me just show you in final, okay, whether privilege escalation done or not, okay. Done. So the vulnerability is set existing default policy version, okay. So this is a way, and the reports is also generated over there. So thank you. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about AWS cloud breach. Let's understand the scenario. Right now I'm talking about cloud goat scenario, cloud breach S3. So let's say you got a IP address by doing some recon, and it's a EC2 service that is running a misconfigured reverse proxy, okay. That's the scenario. Now your goal is to find some confidential files from the S3 bucket, but you don't know S3 right now, okay. I'm not talking about the exploitation route. Let's just start with a IP address of EC2 instance you got, okay. So I set up a lab. So I just fired this command. The command is, okay, the command simply I fired is cloudgoat.py space create space cloud bridge underscore S3, and it started one instance of EC2, and now I got an IP address of EC2 server. So this is our target now. You can set up. So I got one target. First I will do recon, obviously, because it's on EC2 or not, okay. So I will do recon. So okay, so I'll use a host command space the IP address and enter. Okay, so you can see connection time dot no server could be reached. I don't know whether I'm able to ping ns lookup space this one. Okay, server can't find this one. Let me simply open this in a web browser, whether it's accessible or not. Okay, it's waiting. Site can't be reached. Okay, there's some issue, I guess. Yes, the problem is, yes. Let's just use a curl command. Curl space http colon double slash and this one. This server is configured to proxy request to the EC2 metadata service. Please modify your request host header and try again. So this is a common real world scenario where an attacker will run into reverse proxy or application layer like Edge router or Nginx or Terafit etc., which forward the request to appropriate service based on the host header in HTTP request. So we can exploit reverse proxy server with overlay permissive configuration to reach internal applications that we can't reach otherwise. This attack gets even more severe in cloud resource because of instance metadata. So you can, the instance IP address. So I'll use a command called curl space -s and then the target IP address. Okay, let's just use -h to give some header. Okay, so okay, there's some issue. That's why. Okay, let me just type this in Sublime. That will be good. So what I will do now, I'll fire command curl space http colon double slash and target IP address space -h to assign a header from the terminal request host colon, and I'm giving the AWS instance metadata IP address. Running instance metadata can be accessed at the IP address of 169.254.169.254. Now, Just fire this command. So when I fire this command, you can see you got an output. And okay, let me just run one more time. Okay, you can see there is one directory, latest directory. See? So if you, okay, let me just one more time. You can see there is one directory, latest directory. Let us go drive into that latest directory. So I'll use a command after 1 and 2 latest. Copy. Okay. Latest directory have dynamic metadata and the user that dash data. Let's just drive into metadata. Perfect. Now what I got many files, and there is a IM directory too. So let's just go to the IM directory. Okay. So I'm going into the I'm driving into the IM directory, and we got two files. One is info, other one is security credential. Let's just do this security credentials. Okay. So security credentials, copy and just fire this one. Now what I got one more CG banking WAP role blah blah blah. So what we got from there, okay, so we got one role name. Okay, after security credentials we got a role name. Now so let's go ahead and extract IAM role credentials that are accessible via any IMDS on this EC2 instance. So I have to extract this role. Okay, so just do this one. Perfect. Let me just do this role name. I guess role name should be in. Okay, so when I extracted, I got what I got. I got access key, ID, secret access key, and the token. So this is a IAM role credentials. Now we got a credentials. Now what we'll do, we have to enumerate this role credentials. So we'll create one profile, AWS profile. So let's just configure one profile. Let me just do this. AWS command is this one, command AWS configure space hyphen hyphen profile, and then you give the profile name. So I'm giving a profile name breach cloud. Okay, enter. So now you have to give access key ID. So access key ID is this one. Let's just copy access key ID. Okay, now secret access key. So secret access key is this one. Default region US-East-1. That's my AWS one. Enter. Now if you look at this your configurations, your credentials, AWS profile configurations, AWS, then credentials, and what we got is credentials having this. If you look at closely, you can see there's a profile breach cloud, and breach cloud having AWS access key ID, AWS secret access key, but they don't have token. So we have to also give the token, and token we got is this one. So let's just copy the token now. Token. So I just copy the token. Now I'll use a nano AWS credentials, and now I will add this token. So the token format will be this one, AWS underscore session underscore token equal to space and the value. Okay, perfectly all right. So we configured profile, and then we manually added token into the profile. Okay, profile file. Now let's just try to identify your caller identity. So you can use AWS STS space get dash caller dash identity, and then you run assign hyphen hyphen profile space breach cloud. Okay, just enter. Whether it's configured it's configured properly, and the assume role CG banking. So role is this one. Perfectly all right. Now I will use enumerate IAM to quickly verify the role permissions. CD enumerate IAM ls and so this I have to give dot slash enumerate. So let's just build a command into notepad. So dot slash enumerate dash in dot py space hyphen hyphen access dash key equal to, I guess we got the key, this is the key perfectly, then space hyphen hyphen secret key equal, oh sorry, you can give equal to or not, that's not necessary. Okay, so access key, and then I'm not giving, I will give a space and then secret key perfectly. After this one, I have to also assign the session token. So hyphen hyphen session hyphen token and space token. So token we have got is, where's the token? Yes, you see the token perfectly. Just copy the token perfectly. Let's just copy this whole command. Okay, now let's just run this command there. Okay, so starting permission enumeration for access key, this one. Okay, now account path, this one you got, attempting to common services. Yes, list it will brute force for the role permissions. Okay, perfect. Now wait for some time. Okay, we have to wait. Okay, okay, recording is going on, so no worry. But we have to wait. There is no other way because I have to know the role permissions. What are the permissions granted by this role? So wait. Okay, so it's finding some. Okay, so what we got, you can see the dynamodb.describe endpoints is worked. That means we can try to run this command. Okay, wait now. Wait for some time. Okay, s3.list buckets worked. So what we got from this is IAM role has permissions to list S3 bucket in the account. Okay, so let's use AWS command line interface to list the bucket. So AWS S3 ls and then hyphen hyphen profile, and the profile we have created is breach cloud. Okay. So list all the, so I'm trying to list all the buckets. Okay, so okay, there is some issue. Profile breach cloud. Okay, so what's the issue? Let me try to run this one more time. Maybe my internet connection is weak, so that's why. So okay. Yes, you can see we got some card holder data bucket. Yeah, you can see we got a CG card holder data bucket, CG secret S3 bucket. So we got a few, yes, few buckets. Now I want to download or list or whatever. I want to download this bucket completely. And what are the data stored on this S3 bucket? So what I will do, I'll use sync command, AWS S3. After that, sync then S3 colon double slash, and the bucket name is this one. So let's just use this bucket name. Okay. First I'm trying this, second, then third you can try like this one. Okay. After that, after bucket informations, I have to make sure output one. So I'll use dot slash, okay, same cloud or maybe card one data. Okay, like this, or yeah, card holder one data means bucket one. Okay, then hyphen open profile and breach cloud. Now wait for some time, it will download this bucket completely. Okay, it's downloading. So you can see the card holder data secondary, this one, and ls. So you can see there is one directory cd card holder data, and then there are 2 3 files, primary, corporate. So if I'm doing corporate card holders corporate, you can see you got some data. So this is very sensitive data. Yes. So this one was lab. So we successfully breached the cloud. Okay, how we started. Let's just revise this one. Okay, how we started with the IP address, then we tried to exploit the misconfigured reverse proxy, then we EC2 instance profile and the list S3 buckets, and using a sync commands to obtain sensitive data from the cardholder data bucket. Okay, so this we have done. Thank you so much. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about AWS EC2 SSRS. So what's the scenario? Let's talk about the scenario right now. The scenario is you have a IAM user, Solus, let's say Solus credentials. Let's say you got one credential by doing recon, okay? But it has only read-only permissions. Now you have to invoke Lambda function. So this is how scenario goes on, okay? So basically it's running on a EC2 instance running a web application that is vulnerable to SSRF. That we have to find it, okay? After exploiting the vulnerable app and acquiring keys from the EC2 metadata, attacker have to gain access to private S3 bucket. That's our goal, okay? So let's do this. For that we have to create a lab. So lab, you can just use this command to create a lab. Okay. When I created successfully, I got a profile, the access key and secret key. Now we have to escalate this. Okay. So I'll copy this one. Now, first things I will create a profile. Okay. So let's configure a profile. For that, I have to AWS configure. So I'm going to configure let's say profile Solus -- profile SOLUS. Okay, perfectly. Let's just enter this one, and you need AWS access key. So that I already have AWS access key. Done. Secret key. I guess I have the secret key. So let's just do this. Done. Region US-is-1 you need. Okay, where the resource for Cloud Goat have been deployed. Okay. Output, just enter. So you have a profile right now. If you want identity, AWS STS space get dash caller dash identity space -- profile, and you have to mention the profile Solus. Now you can see you are able to successfully send a signing request using a profile. Perfectly all right. Now use this Solus profile to list the Lambda function that are accessible. Okay, or you can Okay. So use a Solus profile to list the lambda function that are accessible. So for that you can use, or you can directly use enumerate IAM. Okay, that's your choice. Okay. So you can also use enumerate IAM on Solus. So let's go to the enumerate IAM dot slash enumerate uh, IAM.py, and then you have to give hyphen upon a double access dash key space access key, and we have the access key. Let's just give this access key space hyphen upon secret dash key space. Okay, and that we have this one. Okay, and just enter. So it will start. Okay, it's a permission. It's enumerating all the permissions. Okay, and you can see now the describe endpoints is worked successfully. Okay, now wait. Need to wait for some time. Caller identity worked already, that we have already seen it's worked. Yes, STS get caller identity, and lambda functions is working. Yes, lambda list functions are working. So if lambda list functions are working, let's just do use this Solus profile to list the lambda functions that are accessible. So I'll use a command AWS space lambda lambda space list. As you can see, list functions. Okay, list hyphen functions, sorry, dash functions hyphen profile, and then you give a Solus. Yeah. Okay. So you can see you have listed the function name. Their function name is this one. There are two function name. One is there. One is here. So let's just copy function name first of all. Okay. So I'll copy the function name. Okay. Let me do this like this one. Okay. So I'll just copy the function name. So there are two functions. First function name. Okay. We have got the function name. Now, okay, we have got the function name. This is the first function, and the first function having some variables. Let's just copy this variables. Okay, so I just copy this variables. After this, let's just copy another function and the variables. Function name is this one. Okay. Okay, let's just copy this function name and the variables. Variables having access key ID and the secret key. So let's just directly try. Okay, if you got the lamp function name, let's try to invoke the function. Okay, invoke the function as Solus profile. So how are you gonna do this? AWS lambda space invoke space hyphen function dash name space and the function name. So I'll try to invoke this one first. Okay, this first function. Okay, space. Let's just capture this output. Okay, so and write into some file. So dot slash out dot txt space hyphen profile space Solus. Let's just do this. Okay. Okay. The problem is an error occurred while calling the invoke operations. Yeah. So while the profile is able to list the lambda, it does not have the ability to execute them. However, listing the function also lists the environment variables that the lambda has been given. But unfortunately, it is often the case that AWS credentials are sent via environment variables, since it is in practice not to include them within source code. From the listing, identify an EC2 access key that the lambda function uses to authenticate itself to project resource. Yes, so you got access key, unfortunately. So let's just do this. Let's just create another profile. Okay, so I'll create a profile. Let's say AWS space configure space EC1 role. Okay, sorry, I forgot hyphen profile space EC1 role. Enter. Oops. Enter. AWS configure. Okay, the spelling is wrong. Profile. Okay, so that require access key ID, and that we already have. You see the first access key. Now secret access key. I guess that we have. Okay, done. Now US dash is dash one that you know. Enter. Now let's just identify some it's working or not. STS space get space caller dash identity space hyphen hyphen profile and then EC1 role. Let's enter this one. Yeah, the account user ID is this one and the user name is Rex. Okay, so you got a username, not an issue. Now, try to list, use this credentials to list all the EC2 instances it has access to. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll try to list AWS space EC2 space describe instances, then hyphen hyphen profile, and then the profile name is EC1 role. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, so I'm trying to list all the EC2 instances, and you can see, if you look at closely, you can see there are few instances, and it's all in instances having details, and details have public IP address. Within these instances, there may be one public IP address. Okay, so what I will do, I'll try to filter this. Okay, I'll try to filter this JSON output. So for that, I'll use same command, profile EC1 role, not an issue. Then I'll try to fire query. It's a JSON, so in query I'm trying to look for the reservations. Okay, just star for all the reservations, then dot instances next loop, and then I also want star. Okay, after that, then I want a tags. The tags will be I'm trying to is let's say public IP address. So public IP address that I'm looking for. Let's just hyphen output equal to text hyphen profile equal to EC1 role. Let's enter this one. Okay, so profile already mentioned, I guess, yes, but we got our IP address. There are three public IP address. Let's try to access one by one, or you can use it directly curl command, curl space this one. Sorry, curl space http colon / this one. Okay, let's just try there in browser. Okay, so I'll try in browser. Okay, it's not accessible. This IP is not accessible. What about this one? Okay, again it's not accessible. What about this one? Okay, now this is accessible. If you look at closely, type error URL must be a string not defined. Okay, so you got one valid public IP address. Yes, and if you look at closely, host space that IP address, it's based on EC2. Yeah, so you got a public IP address of the EC2 instances. Okay, now as the application is expecting a URL as input, let's try and verify it. Okay, so as application is expecting URL as input. Okay, let's / question mark URL equal to, let's enter this one. You can see welcome to the, I wanted to be useful but I could not find for you. Okay, so after URL parameter, let's just try to give ifconfig.co. okay, if you give this, you will get a IP address. Okay, so what's my IP address? This one. Okay, so you got one one vulnerable to SSRF. Okay, now so I'll try to use instance metadata, okay, to get security credentials. So curl space -s, and there I'll give http. I copied. Now this URL parameter is vulnerable to SSRF. Now I'll try to call instance meta AWS instance metadata http colon / 169.254.169.254 / center this one. Okay, so what happened? Okay, done. You can see there is one latest directory. So latest, and we got metadata and user data. So I want metadata data, enter. There I got IM directory, so IM, we got security credentials. Okay, so now I want security credentials. Security credentials, we got one role. This is a role, EC2 role. Okay, now I want the data. Okay, so we got the new access EC2 role. There's a two profile. Okay, so we successfully enumerated the EC2 profile and we got a access key ID and secret access key. Now let's try to create another profile. Okay, by using this one. Okay, access key ID, secret access key, and token. So for that, I'll create, let's say, AWS space configure space hyphen profile space EC2 stolen. Okay, EC2 stolen. Okay, and the access key ID we have is this one. Done. The secret access key is this one. Done. And default region US dash east dash one. The format nothing. The problem is they didn't ask for the token, but we have to mention token, so you have to do manually this thing. Okay, so for manually you have to edit nano dot AWS, and then there's the credentials. In the credentials you have to add that. Okay, so it's EC2 stolen AWS underscore session underscore token space equal to space value. Okay, now let's just verify this profile. So AWS space sts space get dash caller dash identity okay, space the profile name hyphen profile space EC2 stolen. Okay, let's just do this. You can see the role you have got is EC2 role. This is the role. Okay, now we can also try to enumerate. You use enumerate, so dot slash enumerate im.py. Then after that you have to mention, first let's just mention session token. Okay, so session dash token space the token space hyphen access dash key, and the access key is this one. After that, space hyphen secret dash key space secret key is this one. Okay, enter. So starting permission and routing, and you can assume it role is this one. Wait for the update. So I'm verifying the role permissions. Okay. Okay. You can see the describe endpoints is worked successfully. S3 list bucket worked. Yes. So if you notice it correctly, IAM role has permission to list S3 bucket in this account. Let's use AWS CLI to list the buckets and download any stored data on this S3 bucket. So I'll use AWS space S3 space ls space hyphen profile space EC2 stolen. Wait. Yeah, you got few things: CG cardholder data, CG secret S3 buckets. So let's just copy. Let's try to download one by one. So I'm trying to copy this one. Okay, because the role was, if you look at closely, the role was this one 0. That's why I'm taking that one. Okay, so let's just use this one: CG secret S3 bucket. Copy this one. Now let's just download this one. So AWS space S3 space sync space S3 colon double slash the bucket name space. Let us save into some file. So dot slash secrets space hyphen profile space EC2 stolen. Okay, done. Okay, so you got one file. Okay, let's just do cat secrets, and there is one file admin.txt. Okay, so you got one file that have AWS security credentials, and the file name suggests that they could be administrative credentials. Okay, so let's just create another profile. Okay, so I'll create AWS space configure space hyphen profile space admin stolen. Okay, so I'm creating a profile admin stolen with this. Okay, I already did this, that's why, so no worry. Okay, I'm doing this one more time. Default reason perfectly all right, format none doesn't matter. Okay, so now let's try to identify who the credential belongs to. Okay, so for that I'll use AWS STS space get dash caller dash identity space identity hyphen profile space profile name is admin stolen. So let's just use this one. Enter. You got this this is the username, yes, Shefa. Now let's try to identify the policies attached to the IAM user. This is the username. Okay, so remember this is the username. Now let's try to identify the policies attached to this username. So I'll use a command AWS. I think you have already seen this command previously. IAM list dash attached dash user dash policies space hyphen user dash name space the username hyphen profile admin stolen. Enter. Yeah, he got this attached policy. There is one attached policy. Now let us copy this policy ARN. Okay, identify the permission of the policy attached to the IAM user. Okay, so I'll use AWS IAM space get dash policy. The policy version again have 5. Okay, so remember the up to, it will be up to 5. Okay, so I'm trying to call policy version 1. Okay, so policy version space hyphen policy dash ARN space hyphen version dash ID v1. Okay, space hyphen profile space admin stolen. Okay, let's just use this one. There is some issue. Get, okay, there is spelling error. Okay, that's matter. Oops, to traverse back to POLICY. Okay, enter now. If you look at closely this profile for the policy, okay, permissions of the policy, there's an effect allow that it could be admin. Action is start, it's always start. So effectively have admin access to the AWS account. Let's use this credential to invoke the target Lambda functions. Now we got to know this admin stolen is a administrator access, have administrator access. Now try to invoke the Lambda function. So for that I'll use a command AWS Lambda space invoke space hyphen function dash name space function dash name. Remember the function dash name? Yes, this is the function we're talking about. Okay, okay, now after that I'll use one output file. Yes, so let's just use dot slash out dot txt space hyphen profile space admin stolen. Okay, enter. Okay, so it has got successfully. Let's just cat space out dot txt. You win. Yes, so this is a way to invoke Lambda functions. You learn something different in this. Yes, now we have seen. So let's just, if you look at closely what we have done. Okay, so if you look at closely, We have started with a read-only access keys. We have listed the Lambda functions. Looking for secrets, we access keys from the Lambda environment variables. Using that key to discover EC2 instances having SSRF vulnerability. Then we have exploited SSRF vulnerability to get instance metadata and consisting that instance metadata have AWS credentials. So this you have learned. Thank you so much.